Big Deals on Big Wheels sales event. For a limited time, score prices below dealer cost and drive home America's best-selling truck for 49 years. The legendary Ford F-150 starting at just $39,995. Choose from the rugged XL, stylish STX, or well-equipped XLT. All backed by the strength, capability, and innovation only Ford delivers. But don't wait. All stock must go. Visit Triple J Ford in Upper Tumont or get pre-approved and shop online at triplejguam.com. Triple J Ford. Customers first.
Eat fresh in just a few clicks. Order online at SubwayPacific.com for pickup or delivery. Online ordering at SubwayPacific.com is powered by Good to Go. We deliver. At Subway, you gotta refresh to be fresh.
Got friends who still haven't switched to GTA? Now's the time to give them a nudge, because you can get up to $150 just for sending them our way. Refer a friend who signs up for a single service like wireless or internet, and you'll score $100. And if they go for a choice bundle, that's a cool $150 in your pocket. It's simple, it's sweet, and it pays to share. Visit GTA.net to start referring today. GTA, we start with you. Terms and conditions apply. Visit GTA.net for more information.
Half a day, I'm Callan Perez and I'm running for senator. Service to our island has shaped my life, from community advocacy and substance abuse recovery to supporting sustainable agriculture. Inspired by my parents, Dr. Perez and Dr. Erickson, I remain committed to serving the people of Guam. I'm Callan Perez and I approve this message.
The countdown has begun. Cost You Less is preparing something special for Hagana, and you won't want to miss it. Family fun, live entertainment, community celebrations, and more are on the way. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for details.
Everyone has savings goals. Whatever you're saving for, Bank of Hawaii wants to help you reach your possible. That's why with our Bank Ohana 12-month CD special, you can earn 3.4% annual percentage yield with a minimum deposit of $5,000 from another bank. Requires a Bank Ohana checking account with an opening deposit of $500. So reach your savings goals with our 12-month CD special.
Anything's possible.
Reach your possible with Bank of Hawaii. For terms and conditions, go to boh.com/CD special.
Hats Tinting and Detailing offers premier services from complete interior cleaning and VIP detailing. And to keep you cool, Hats also offers factory, ceramic, blacked out, and based-approved auto tinting. For more information, call 647-SLAM.
Half a day. I'm Clint Rigel, and I'm running for senator. If you're looking for proven, effective leadership, vote for me. And let's grow Guam together. I'm Clint Rigel, and I approve this message.
Ever dreamed of being on the radio? Now's your chance. Glimpses of Guam is looking for the next generation of on-air personalities to join our family on Wave 105. If you've got personality, creativity, and a passion for entertaining, we want to hear from you. No matter your experience level, this could be your opportunity to be heard across the airwaves. Send your resume and a short demo to jobs@glimpsesofguam.com and start your broadcasting journey today. Join the Glimpses of Guam radio team. Your voice belongs on the air on Wave 105.
Island Voices, Island Conversations. Wave 105, the talk of Guam.
Complaints of low morale and supply issues. The Navy acknowledges the war has disrupted access to traditional supply hubs in the region and says that led to shortages, which are now being addressed by leadership. Several Democratic lawmakers are calling for greater transparency.
3:03 in the afternoon. Welcome to the show. This is the BrightSide right here on Wave 105. Thank you for tuning in. If you want to be a part of the conversation, give us a call, 671-922-1051 or 2. Standing by, Mr. Pauly. Suba, buenas.
And we do want to thank our sponsors, Chili's Grill and Bar. At Chili's, more life, great food, and memories happen here. Micro Pack, from Bose to Sony and more. Micro Pack is Guam's home for quality electronics. Subway, you gotta refresh to be fresh. Triple J, it's big deals on big wheels. At Triple J Ford, save thousands off retail and drive home a new Ford F-150 starting at just $39,995. Visit Triple J Ford today. Customers first, and GTA, we start with you.
For you and me, turning up the truth so we all can see. talks about things important to you. Going above the end, gotta fight the for true. Yeah, there is no subject or topic he won't touch. Pauly is the man who delivers that club. It's the bright side, rain or shine.
Welcome to it. Thanks for hanging out with us, Biba Batness.
Biba.
Friday, August 14, 671-922-1051 or 1052. We are online, thewave105.com, as well as our YouTube channel, Wave 105.1 FM Guam. There's this app called the Zonos Customs app. And it's a private app. It's not affiliated with the U.S. Customs or the U.S. Postal Service, right? Mayor Melissa Savares sent me some information saying that this is what you'll have to do moving forward when you mail out packages out of Guam to any of the 50 states and Puerto Rico. And so you still have to download this app or go on your computer anytime, regardless of whether you do have to pay a fee or not. And so I do remember having this conversation with Congressman Jim Moylan months ago. And it wasn't for when you received packages, it was when you sent packages out. And now we are here. They just started it, I believe, on Wednesday. It did say July 24th, but my wife experienced it this morning. And unfortunately, there were Manumku. They're not tech savvy. And so the Manumku were being turned away. And even if they don't have the app, they're told, well, you can go online and you can do it through their website, through the internet. And so, the Manumku are just like, well, I guess we'll go figure it out, because there was no assistance or help that was coming from the U.S. Postal Service agent or anything. It's like, until you have that QR code that shows that you did get a customs number, we can't ship your package out anymore.
That sucks.
Yeah. So, and there's a difference too. You're not always going to be charged, but definitely when you download the app, it's going to ask you some things like, what's the contents? Because, for example, if you were just going to send $50 to your grandson for graduating in Tacoma, Washington, there's no fee, right? Because you explained that it's money that's going to, your loved one. However, there will be a fee, but it's not the customs fee. It's not always like $1.50. It could be less, but there is a fee.
It's the app fee?
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's what Senator Jesse Lujan is concerned about.
Well, I just texted him, and I know he just finished telling me that he is currently in a meeting, and right after that, he's going to have to go back into session.
Right.
So he's going to do his best to try to sneak away, but because of the 8-vote deal,
yes,
he has to be there.
Sure, yeah.
So I was like,
there needs to be 8 at all times. There needs to be 8 butts in the seat.
Yeah.
Right. Otherwise, they no longer have what do you call it? They no longer have quorum.
Yeah.
And they can't even carry on the conversation unless there are 8 butts there. So
yeah. Yes.
I understand.
But he's gonna do his best, because we're finding out how important this is.
Well, they haven't even done a very good job of putting together an educational campaign.
Some people don't even know.
No, until they show up.
See, and that just goes, right, because I remember when the U.S. Postal Service was being talked about being privatized and everything, everybody was up in arms like, oh, no, right?
Because that's going to drive
and
shipping costs up.
Well, it
could.
The cost right now is going up.
It's going up regardless.
There. Yeah, so, but yeah, no, it really sucks, because, some uncles just want to, like, hey, I cannot fly out there, because of my health. but I'm sending you some money.
Yeah.
You know,
and you'll still have to pay a administrative fee.
Yeah. Whether it's cheap or not.
And it's it's not associated with a tariff, because that's what's happening. They're tacking on the tariff fee
charge,
because where did you get this thing?
Yeah.
It didn't get produced here.
Yeah.
It got produced more than likely in China or Vietnam, and we tack on tariffs when it goes into the continental U.S. We, as in the federal government, we, as in Donald Trump.
Wait. So hold on for a second. So if I got something and it says made in China, if I had to send it out, they're going to charge me tariff fees.
Yes.
But if I'm at the States and I go to Walmart, which everything is made
because
in
the
China,
tariff already was charged.
Yeah, they're not going to charge me sending it to Guam?
No, because there was already a tariff fee that was tacked on to Walmart when they brought it in from China. And that's why Walmart's getting the reimbursement.
See how smart they are? I'll tell you what, just to avoid the fee, I'm not going to send you anything, but I will send you money, and I'm still going to pay a fee.
Yeah. A very small administrative fee.
Still.
So, for example, this morning, right, my wife went and she experienced it. And I told her last night, I'm like, you're probably going to have to download this Zonos app. And she's like, okay, I kind of heard about it, but whatever. She downloaded the app while in line. And there were 3 people that were turned away in front of her. So there was a decent line, and then she got to a postal agent faster because people were turned away instantly. Do you have your QR code? Your QR code is from that Zonos app. If you don't, sorry, we can't help you. They kind of talk a little bit about where to download the app. It's in the Apple Store. Download that. It's going to walk you through it. But when you're not tech savvy, you're like, can you help me walk me through it? Like, nope, sorry, we can't. You can YouTube it, or you can go, here's the directions. Here's the paper. And this will walk you through it. But they're staring at the paper and they're trying to figure it out. And my wife told me they just walked away. They just got back in their car and drove off. And probably they're going to ask their son or their daughter to help them with it.
Yeah.
Right?
Sad. Really
so
sad.
There's that issue. And so she puts in the information on the app of what exactly she's sending off to our goddaughter, right? Because she had recently graduated from boot camp. And so giving her a care package, you put down the list of everything that you are sending, and it was about $150. The fee was $2.50 that she had to pay on top of, right? Through the Zonos app. That is the tariff fee. And so a percentage of that tariff fee is an administrative cost to Zonos. And so Senator Jesse Lujan says, okay, I understand the tariff fee. If that's what we have to pay, we have to pay. But what is this administrative fee that you're telling U.S. citizens they have to pay to a private company?
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, is that a deal that was made between Zonos and the U.S.?
I'm pretty sure, right?
Wow.
That's the third-party entity that is going to provide this service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad.
And so he's asking, why should someone have to pay a private processing or administrative fee if their actual federal duty is $0? So you'll still have to. Like, let's, for example, a Sinai. Maybe a Sinai is not a good example because we're technically, maybe it's cowbone then.
Yeah.
Not HEMA.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't want to get in trouble here. If you say it was made in Guam, then there's zero fee. There's zero customs fee because it came from Guam. However, there will be an administrative fee. And I know we're talking about pennies or just like $1 or 80 cents.
Yeah,
it still adds up, though.
It adds up.
It's still a fee that again, we're U.S. citizens being taxed without real representation.
Exactly.
Because our own congressmen can't even fight this off. can't even get to his colleagues and say, "Hey, this ain't right, dog.
Yeah.
What is going on here?"
No, well, I'm certain it's going to affect the CNMI as well.
Oh,
All
it is.
territories,
It is
yeah.
all territories.
Yeah, and so, man, wow. I think Congressman James Moylan has to be on top of this. I mean,
the problem is it's a done deal. And he was explaining to us like months ago, like, well, as long as they're not shipping it to us. But I'm like, okay, but we're shipping it to our family.
Yeah.
Here in Guam. So your jurisdiction is here, right? Your jurisdiction is not California.
Yeah.
Your jurisdiction is not Hawaii. Congressman Moylan, your jurisdiction is Guam.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah. Well, this is something that needs to be looked into. I mean, Senator Justice's reach can only, can only go so far.
Right.
And I'm almost certain that it's going to fall on deaf ears, right?
Well, he's writing a letter to the U.S. Postal Service, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, asking, can we get a better understanding again on this, what do you call it, this administrative fee that we're not paying the federal government. We're not paying the Postal Service.
Yeah.
We're paying a private entity.
Sucks. Oh, well, if that was the case, then let me be the person to choose what private entity I'm going to pay a fee to send my stuff. Why go with just this Zono app?
That's who you have to download the Zonos app. It's free, but then there's administrative costs when you're sending something off. And basically, when you get to the post office, you are providing them your phone with the QR code. They scan the QR code, and they're like, okay, that tracks, and that basically, that's proof that you paid the customs fee.
Sucks. Really sucks. Well, hopefully, they can come to some sort of...
Otherwise, this is going to be the new normal, right? I mean, they're using all the new technology and whatnot, right? But, I mean, it goes both ways, too, then.
Yeah.
Because the Asakuda system as well, if that's what we're going to be doing, that's the conversation that what I was having also with Senator Chris Duenas, and even before Senator Chris, asking Congressman Jim Moylan, are we going to be implementing more use tax? Are we going to be capturing more? And, I've had my own conversations with family members too. My own family members saying, how many packages we order, it allows us to live more of to purchase more things that are affordable, right? Because things are pretty expensive on the shelf. But if I order it online through Amazon and whatnot, or Temu, it's a whole lot cheaper. But then what happens when we start implementing that? And the reason why we would is to drive the economy up, to have a more circular economy, keep money here, tax those goods. So that way that can go into our coffers.
Yeah.
Right? And help with programs and services.
I know Senator Joe San Augustine, years ago, he was trying to do something with Amazon, how we don't get taxed. I totally forgot what the situation was, but it dealt with Amazon and fees and taxes. I think because he wanted to capture taxes and keep it here on the island versus whenever we send out something
and
or
I
get
think
something.
at the time the senators through the community just doesn't have an appetite for that.
Yeah.
More taxes. This is actually a saving grace for some families. I know it is for my own household. I get it, right? But if we're talking about when we're having the conversations and asking questions to candidates, how are we going to be able to create jobs here? By ordering everything off of Amazon doesn't create jobs.
Yeah. I mean, you don't see any Amazon trucks going around and dropping off stuff. Yeah, so I mean, maybe I should get into that business.
I mean, the U.S. Postal Service is, very busy, right? But how many jobs are they offering?
Yeah.
Is it a what do you call it? A force multiplier? No, it's just not.
Yeah.
And so that becomes part of the conversation when you are asking candidates, how do you plan on assisting businesses or just the industry to create more jobs? Right? That's never going to be part of that conversation. You know, and businesses too will be like, well, they don't walk into my store because they don't need my services. They just order it online.
Yeah.
And so then that business will just close down. You don't, you know, you're not getting it from me, but it's here. So, I mean, it's part of the conversation. I'm not saying that I agree one way or another because, again, I benefit too from my own household. But again, when we're trying to talk about having a healthy economy and creating more jobs, you know, really the answer a lot of times is really just supporting GCC, UOG, the trades even more.
Yeah.
Creating more programs within the school system to allow children to become interested in these industries a whole lot sooner. That's part of the equation when it comes to jobs. But, I mean, we have no factories here.
Actually, you know, I keep thinking about, every time somebody talks about creation of jobs, I keep thinking about what candidate Alex Duenas has talked about.
Yeah, the call centers.
The call centers.
But, you know, he's competing with all of these companies in India and Vietnam and that the pay salary is a whole lot lower, right? And so that's also going to be, and not only that, but to be honest with you, you don't need to be a senator to do that. You can start up your business
but,
without being a legislator.
I mean, considering, right?
So how does being a legislator create a call center?
Make it easier for somebody to open up shop, pretty much. I mean, because when you look at all the regulations,
tax incentives,
and everything,
that's the only thing that I can see it. Because if you want to open up a call center, you can. You don't need to be a legislator to do it.
Can you imagine, like, somebody takes over the hotels and half of it? I mean, because if you go to BGC in Manila, right, in the Philippines, and you see all these young adults starting up, and they have their little name tags and everything with their lanyards, walking around getting lunch and everything, those are all call center operators, and they come in from the countryside. They go into BGC, and it's a really big thing. And so, you know, companies like Amazon and whatnot, right? And I think because a lot of these people, you know, they kind of like, and I hate to say it, but, you know, I'm just going to be real. When you hear somebody call like, hey, would you da-da-da-da-da-da, right? And your accent is of a different country, automatically you just start thinking of like, no, this sounds shady, right? But when you have, you know, good accent, like speak clear English, and there's no accent, the trustworthiness of the person on the other side of the phone is much greater, right?
Sure, because you can relate to the person.
Exactly.
I understand that, right? But when you look at the technology and where it's going, it's actually going to bots.
Yeah.
I mean, GoFundMe, you don't talk to anybody. GoFundMe, you're talking to a bot, and you're talking about bank accounts and people that are wanting to help you with a family emergency or something, you know, that is extremely urgent, right? And so when they start to see that, when you start to have conversations about, you know, serious conversations about where's this money coming from, and you have to prove that you really are who you say you are, you're not having a conversation with a human being.
Yeah.
You're having a conversation with bots.
Yeah.
And that's actually where the technology is going. So I think you can have these call centers, but I don't know if it's really going to increase jobs. I know a few call centers that have a few human beings, but they definitely rely on AI technology to close some of those gaps and keep the costs down.
You know, I know that when with a couple of the cell phone carriers here, when I call because there is something wrong and they give you that 24 hours, and then when you get the body behind the other side, I'm sorry, sir, where are you calling from? I'm like, okay, you're not even on island?
Yeah.
It was like, okay, 671, you're on Guam? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, who am I speaking to, Familia and Halsey?
No, I understand. So even government agencies are starting to use off-island. The Guam Retirement Fund uses an off-island call center to help you with your retirement to pull money out or transfer money, right?
Yeah.
And so, if you had a call center that you're saying you must, it must be a local call center, then maybe, but then they might even question Alexander Duenas for all of that, saying, hey, you're doing all of this for your own self-interest.
How?
Because he might be connected to these call centers. I don't know. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
No, well,
so
I are there call centers here on the island?
Well, they're off-island call centers,
Yeah.
right? Like, again, for example, if you want to pull your retirement out of the Gov Guam coffers, you're going to call a 1-800 number, and you're going to be talking to somebody not on this island.
Exactly, and that's, and how many retirees are out there that would want to actually talk to somebody in the retirement versus somebody that's in New York and he's
But you know how our procurement works, right? So you can't just say, let's give it to the local company. It's who's the cheapest.
True.
And so more than likely,
but
the
legislature can change that, right? That, because I know that we, with the construction companies, right? When it comes to anything that Department of War has, like the Indian,
the locals get the first dibs.
Yeah, the Indian.
If you have the expertise.
If you have the expertise,
and a lot of times
the
we don't. A lot of times we're the subcontractor.
Because I know that the Native American Indians, every time there's a contract that comes out of the Department of War, overseas contracts, they have first right of refusal. Because
as long as they have the expertise.
We actually had some of them do business here on the island, and you could just tell, like the Inuit group, and they're just here for whatever, right? But it was an Indian group that was actually doing Native American Indian group that was doing business here on the island because they got the contract, and so the legislature can tailor make laws that, okay, before you even think about going and putting up for bid, it has to be, local companies would have to, get first right of refusal first, pretty much.
But oftentimes it's not happening because they don't have the expertise or the resources, so they end up being the subcontractor because they can't fulfill. They can't fulfill the contract because they just don't have all of those resources, the equipment, the manpower.
Yeah. No, and that's much like how a lot of these construction companies, local construction companies, get subcontracted by the ones that actually get the contracts of the $30-40 million deal. They hire all these local companies. They're like, okay, well,
because you parcel out the project.
Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting.
So when we're looking at some of the ways to address employment, I really do like what GDOL is doing again with this junior law enforcement cadet program for high school students. So it's a start. 5 students graduated from this program, which was again created through a partnership between GDOL and DPR. So the goal is to give students interested in law enforcement real training and work experience while they're still in high school and potentially create a pathway into a law enforcement career after graduation. So the program lasted throughout the school year and the summer. During the winter and spring sessions, students learned basic workplace and career skills, including resume writing, interviewing, customer service, communication, workplace safety, cybersecurity, teamwork, and work ethics. They also heard from people working in different careers. Then they went through a 6-week summer park police cadet program where the training became much more law enforcement focused. This is all connected to the conversation that we had with Director Dave Delasola over at GDOL when they were talking about the year-round school internship program that even is paid.
Yeah.
And so remember how he was talking about he's talking to businesses, companies, a government agency, and looking at the asking students what would you be interested in, and then connecting them with these agencies or companies. This is the example. And so they learn CPR and first aid, tactical medicine, physical fitness, uniform inspections, flag, drill, and ceremony procedures, how civilians should respond to an active shooter situation, which is run, hide, or fight, how Guam's parks operate, career opportunities within Guam's law enforcement agencies, and they were paid. This isn't just a volunteer program. And so students receive stipends during the winter and spring training and then participate in that 6 weeks of paid summer employment. The program, again, is funded through the Federal Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. And GDOL is saying that this is the first program of its kind in Guam, specifically giving high school students a hands-on pathway toward law enforcement employment. DPR Acting Director Rob Lizama, that's our mayor up in Jigo, right, former mayor, said he was pleased with how the first group progressed and hopes the opportunity can be offered to more students. Police Chief Joey Terlai says the idea behind it is that the program is about training young people today who could potentially help protect the community tomorrow. Again, 5 Guam high school students are the first graduates of a new junior law enforcement cadet program. They received the workplace training, law enforcement instruction, and paid work experience designed to prepare them for possible careers in law enforcement after school. And so this is, again, the example, a success story of what Director Dave Delasola was talking to us about earlier this week on that year-round high school student internship program for juniors and seniors. Mm-hmm. Now, there is a requirement. There's a requirement that you'll have to qualify. They are looking for students that come from vulnerable families, right, or communities, right? And so they're usually below the poverty level, come from broken families, have some issues, not just at home, but even in school. Mm-hmm. What this does is it really it not only uplifts an individual, it uplifts an entire family, especially when they can't escape poverty, when they aren't given the tools or the support needed. And so these programs are tailor-made for these individuals to find a way out of poverty, and to be able to provide not just for themselves but for their family.
This program is almost remnant of what GCC used to do in the 80s, where they learn a trade, and part of the curriculum is to actually go out in the workforce and be a part of it. And they got paid.
Yeah.
Right. And they were also getting graded. My brother went to automotive shop at GCC.
Yeah, I know a few.
And he ended up working at Auto Masters, like in the 80s. And my mom and my dad would drop him off. We would drop him off, then come pick him up and everything, and he would get paid. How that actually worked out with the family, I mean, it did help because, when there was bills and everything, he would give some of that money that he earned.
Yeah.
And, to help pay the bills, gas the car, because they're, taking him back and forth to work and home. Right. Mm-hmm. And, but it was very successful because it actually built his character. Like right after that, he got into the military, started working in the motor pool. Right? So that trait, he actually took it into the military. And then, of course, stayed in the military for like 35 years in the Navy. But do I see the success in this program? Yes, because I'm living proof. I've actually witnessed it with my older brother, and also, I believe it was my sister too as well. She took up cosmetology and she started working right before she graduated. Like, in junior year, she started working at a hair salon. Yeah, and so yes, this works. I'm glad they're expanding it and now it's all for all schools. This program is for all schools?
No, you apply with GDOL, but yeah, it is for all families or all individuals. You have to qualify.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not for a specific school, and so the application process opens up next week. Not necessarily for this law enforcement program. Again, it starts with the year-round internship program for juniors and seniors.
Yeah.
And then they, while you're going through these workshops and having these conversations with the GDOL team, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are going to find what would you like to do, and then they'll match you up with businesses.
Nice.
And they can find you could find yourself at a dealership working at their auto shop or the mechanics, right? You can be their helper.
Yeah.
Can help rotate tires do oil change and change the brakes.
If this program, with every business that is taking part in it, I wonder if they are getting any tax breaks from the government. They should if they're not.
I believe they do for the internship program overall.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation to have with GDOL, which they have so many programs over at GDOL too. Yeah. And so anytime we're talking about careers and expanding the industries, it's always good to have that conversation with Dave, because he's got so many programs that are available.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of times we're just not aware of it. Even our Manumku.
Yeah.
They have a Manumku program.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That gets them jobs too.
Get them going.
3:37 in the afternoon. We'll take the break.
Yes.
All right.
Actually, let's go and do our first look at traffic. Let's move forward on your daily commute. Proudly being brought to you by Guam Auto Spot. Standing by. I'm giving him some time to check out the handy-dandy traffic app. Mr. Pauly Suba, buenas.
Well, what I do know is they have some construction activities that are continuing on Route 10 all the way more than likely today, because I'm looking at their schedule on the GuamTransportationProgram.com. No work is scheduled tomorrow or Sunday, but more than likely it is going to continue next week as well. And they're going to be doing that pavement striping and marking along Corten Torres and the Route 10 intersection, and also loop sensor installation at the Route 32 and Route 10 intersection again. Again, no work is scheduled in these areas Saturday or Sunday. They should be picking up all of their construction material right now as we get closer to 4 p.m. Then they're also... they have been working between Jigo Payless to Anderson Air Force Base, installing pavement markings and markers as well. And then you also have Route 17 between Route 5 and Route 4A. That's Cross Island Road. They are continuing to install power poles, right? This work is expected to continue over the coming weeks, so just expect some delays in that area on Cross Island Road. Once again, helping you move forward through this Friday afternoon. That's Guam Auto Spot. Call them up, 478-AUTO. View their inventory on their website at GuamAutospot.com.
Got friends who still haven't switched to GTA? Now's the time to give them a nudge, because you can get up to $150 just for sending them our way. Refer a friend who signs up for a single service like wireless or internet, and you'll score $100. And if they go for a choice bundle, that's a cool $150 in your pocket. It's simple, it's sweet, and it pays to share. Visit GTA.net to start referring today. GTA, we start with you. Terms and conditions apply. Visit GTA.net for more information.
Introducing the all-new Subway Wraps. Now you can make any footlong a wrap. Light, delicious, and satisfying without weighing you down. Subway Wraps make fueling your day easier than ever with bold flavors and fresh ingredients. Try the cheesy garlic steak wrap today. Subway, eat fresh, feel good.
Need a truck that works as hard as you do? Then head to Triple J Ford's Big Deals on Big Wheels sales event. For a limited time, score prices below dealer cost and drive home America's best-selling truck for 49 years. The legendary Ford F-150 starting at just $39,995. Choose from the rugged XL, stylish STX, or well-equipped XLT. All backed by the strength, capability, and innovation only Ford delivers. But don't wait. All stock must go. Visit Triple J Ford in Upper Tumon or get pre-approved and shop online at triplejguam.com. Triple J Ford. Customers first.
The big summer getaway is still raging at Agana Shopping Center. Every $10 purchase is your ticket to massive prizes. You could win a 75-inch TV, a $100 gas card, a 2-night stay at PIC, and more. Plus, you could win up to $1,000 in United Airlines vouchers to fly anywhere United flies. Keep dropping those raffle coupons in the drop boxes and don't miss the grand drawing on August 15th. Shop and win before time runs out at Agana Shopping Center. Must be present to win. See posters for details.
The countdown has begun. Cost You Less is preparing something special for Hagana, and you won't want to miss it. Family fun, live entertainment, community celebrations, and more are on the way. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for details.
Half a day. I'm Clint Rigel, and I'm running for senator. If you're looking for proven, effective leadership, vote for me, and let's grow Guam together. I'm Clint Rigel, and I approve this message.
Hats Tinting and Detailing offers premier services from complete interior cleaning and VIP detailing. And to keep you cool, Hats also offers factory, ceramic, blacked out, and base-approved auto tinting. For more information, call 647-SLAM.
Half a day. I'm Callan Perez, and I'm running for senator. Service to our island has shaped my life, from community advocacy and substance abuse recovery to supporting sustainable agriculture. Inspired by my parents, Dr. Perez and Dr. Erickson, I remain committed to serving the people of Guam. I'm Callan Perez, and I approve this message.
Our critically injured veterans and first responders are left behind every day because of inadequate wheelchairs. That's why Wheelchairs for Warriors is on a mission to serve America's heroes across the nation and provide them with custom-fit wheelchairs tailored to fit their needs to ensure they're rejoining their lives at the highest level of independent mobility and function possible. From lightweight daily use chairs or adaptive sports chairs to all-terrain wheelchairs to get these warriors outdoors. Wheelchairs for Warriors serves those who've served us. To join their mission, visit their website at wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Real conversations, real issues, real Guam. This is Wave 105, the talk of Guam.
Welcome back to the show. 3:43 in the afternoon. Here's the number, 671-922-1051 or 2. Give us a call. This is the BrightSide right now. Mr. Pauly Suba.
Welcome back. Viva Badness!
Viva!
I got this release from the 35th Guam Youth Congress Vice Speaker Trevin Atoigui.
Okay.
He represents the village of Tumuning. He is going to be holding a press conference to address questions regarding the upcoming peaceful demonstration in support of Simon Sanchez High School. This is Wednesday, August 19, 6:30 p.m. at the Tumuning Senior Citizen Center. Vice Speaker Atoigui will address inquiries related to the event advertised as a peaceful and proactive movement, Simon Sanchez High School Stand Up. According to the flyer, the movement is organizing a gathering to call for the rebuilding of Simon Sanchez High School. And so the flyer says, rebuild Sanchez, rebuild now. And so the scheduled peaceful movement at the ITC intersection is Sunday, August 23rd, 4 to 6 p.m. And I know that they were supposed to be doing these peaceful movements in the past. Maybe they've done a few, I can't remember, but I do remember seeing this flyer before, but it had different dates on it. And for a number of reasons, one I think I remember was because of the inclement weather that they canceled it for the safety of everybody involved. So they are doing again, I don't know if they've done one recently, but they are doing they are having a peaceful movement. Not this Sunday, next Sunday, August 23rd, 4 to 6 p.m. At the press conference, Vice Speaker Toigui will provide information regarding the purpose, organization, logistics, safety measures, and community participation for the August 23rd event. Media will have the opportunity to ask questions as well. All members of the media and public are invited to attend the press conference. So again, that's Wednesday, August 19th, 6:30 p.m. for the press conference, and then the peaceful and proactive movement to rebuild Sanchez is Sunday, August 23rd, 4 to 6 p.m. I was also provided information that they're not only asking Simon Sanchez students, they're asking the whole island. Anybody that is that has been following this, if you would like to attend, they're asking the entire island of Guam to support them. They are definitely asking and calling on all alumni, current students, and future students to attend this peaceful and proactive movement. And so in the flyer, it says, join us at the ITC intersection to Mooning Mayor's Office Park, Sunday, August 23rd from 4 to 6 p.m. For any questions or concerns, you can contact Trevin and Toigui, who again is the Vice Speaker of the Guam Youth Congress at 671-686-2239, 686-2239. When they sent me the flyer, they also asked if we could share with our audience that they are calling on Simon Sanchez High School alumni, current students, and future students to attend this peaceful movement. There are a number of other events, too, that I wanted to share before we get to the top of the hour. Togi has been providing the safe drive home for all of August. And so far, they haven't received a call yet. So maybe the community is unaware that they have started the Safe Ride Home service once again. And so they are doing this for all of August and all of September between the hours of 10 p.m. and 2:30 a.m. Here's the number, 671-683-9276. It's a Friday. I know a lot of us, have a little bit of liquid courage, some of us a little more. And so, do not be ashamed. Do not feel like you can't call this number. It's absolutely free. Do not feel like you're more than capable. I think even when you see your friend or your family or your brother or your sister or your mom or your dad that has a little too much to drink, use this service. Like, please.
Don't try to be Superman.
Please use this service. I mean, I don't need to point to anything that has happened recently. Exactly. But we know how heartbreaking it is. We are a small community, and we all know each other or know somebody. If they're not your family member, they're your coworker.
True.
So I cannot stress this enough.
And there's a couple
that Togi
things.
is doing such a great service this community.
Man, kudos to them.
And so they have been partnering up with the Guam Police Department Highway Patrol and also Department of Public Works. They have their office, I forgot the name of that office, but they focus on road safety, right? And, every time you see those, we play a couple too, those public service announcements regarding Driving while drunk. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it
buckling
DPW?
up. It's DPW. It's a division in DPW.
Yeah. I think it's Highway and Safety Division.
That's the one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they have they're supported by federal funds.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they provide all of that educational campaign.
From using your baby seat, buckle up,
cell phones,
all that stuff.
Your not leaving your children in the car, all of that, right? And so this is just a wonderful service. They're doing it for the entire month of August and the entire month of September. The phone numbers again are 671-683-9276, 787-9276. 686-9276. And it's easier to remember by just remembering WARM. So 683-WARM, 787-WARM, 686-WARM. Be smart before you start because every life on the road matters. Once again, that's Togi that is putting this together in partnership with the Guam Office of Highway Safety and in support of Recovery Month. They're offering these free, safe rides home. Somebody's on the line?
Yes, he wants to talk about the topic that we were talking about earlier with jobs.
Oh, yeah. Hafa Wave 105, you're on the air.
Hey, Pauly, this is Joe.
Hafa
Thanks for
Joe.
taking my call.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I was really listening to the topic you guys were discussing, phone centers, jobs, and all that in Guam.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to tell you two things that Guam lacks right now that pay $65 an hour, but no one wants to go to these and get these jobs. And that's one thing. The second thing is we don't have the courses here in Guam. We need mechanics for boats, which, what do we have? Thousands of boats in this island, including the outer islands. We need fiberglass fabricators. And we don't have anyone to teach these courses here. I do have a friend in Hawaii that comes out every year, goes to the school, and he tries to recruit kids. We have sent 3 kids from Guam all the way to Florida to learn this trade. However, guess what? They never came back because they were offered jobs in the United States. Right. Now, if we had a schooling like that here, for these 2 trades alone, come on, there's nobody out there right now unless you work for a corporate division that makes $65 an hour.
Right.
And that's the going rate. So our government needs to think in the future in bringing IT jobs to Guam and opening up schools. I mean, before, and when we used to call GCC VOTEC, you know, you could learn a trade. And a lot of people went to that school from Simon Sanchez, JFK, when they became sophomores. They went to that school because it offered them a lifeline when they got older and they graduated.
Yeah, my first cousin is in Maui, and he was actually Kono. I think it's Kono. I'm probably getting it wrong. It's an island out of Hawaii. It's definitely not Oahu. But he took electrician classes over at GCC. He got hired by Xerox, and then Xerox in Hawaii, in one of these outer islands, right? In Hawaii, they called Guam and asked if there was a technician that was willing to come out to them. And so they poached Guam Xerox technicians, and now he's there. And that was all through GCC.
Only makes sense. You know, I don't know why we stopped VOTEC, and I don't know why we don't reach out to companies. Now, you know, I'm listening about Mount Carmel teaching kids robotics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, that's the kind of stuff we need here. And when people call me to fix their boat, I'm telling them it's $65 an hour.
Yeah.
So, but, you know, the trade is dying, and right now in Guam, there's only 2 other boat mechanics. And you know what? It's hard for people to not want to get there, or hard for people to repair the boats here. They end up ordering new engines and stuff from the States because we have no mechanics. But just put out a 2 cents, you know, maybe somebody listening can figure something out like that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Pauly.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. On the other side of the 4 o'clock AP News, I'm trying to get a hold of Anthony that is associated with the Walk Different Every Step Matters event that is happening Saturday, September 5th. And so he wants to come into the studio. He was actually calling my landline, but I didn't want to answer while we're doing all of this, right? So when we get to the break, I'll figure out if he's anywhere near the studio, and he'll be in the studio. Otherwise, we'll just take him over the
telephone.
Over the phone, yeah, if he's too far away. But this is also an event that I wanted to share with our audience that I think we can all get excited about and all support. It's a Walk Different, Every Step Matters journey across Guam to raise awareness, acceptance, and support for individuals and families affected by autism. Saturday, September 5th, right? And it starts at 12 p.m. and it goes all the way to midnight, 12 a.m. And it goes all the way to 4 p.m. Why? Because you're walking all the way from Anderson Air Force Base front gate to the Malesu Pier. And so I wanted to just ask, do you have to take the whole trek? I imagine there are people, like I remember Frank did it too. Frank the Crank. I remember when he went from the Malesu Pier all the way to Latexan.
And then Johnny
And that was
Gerber.
for to spread awareness. I can't remember what Frank was doing that for, but Johnny Gerber was doing it on Marine Corps Drive to spread awareness and say, and stop calling it Marine Drive. It's Marine Corps Drive, right? And so they officially changed it or made sure that everybody knew and it was on the record that this is U.S. Marine Corps Drive, right? And that led to Army Corps Drive. I mean, the U.S. Army Veterans Drive. See, I don't even remember. That's Route 16, right? And then Route 10 is Vietnam War Veterans Memorial Highway.
Purple Heart Highway.
Yes. Yeah. So all of that led to all of the other highways here in Guam to be named after veterans one way or another. Yeah, I think Route 8 is Purple Heart.
Yeah.
And then Route 16 is the Army. And then Route 10 is the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Highway. And then obviously we have General Ben Blas Boulevard, right? Memorial. That's Route 3. That's near Camp Blas. So on the other side of the AP News, we're going to be talking to Anthony about this Walk Different, Every Step Matters event. Again, a journey across Guam to raise awareness, acceptance, and support for individuals and families affected by autism. And so this is all presented by Off the Spectrum and Autism Awareness, a nonprofit organization. And so I really don't want to pick up another topic and then get behind that, because I am really looking forward to having that conversation with Anthony about this this event that's happening again on September 30th, I believe. So KGUM FM in Dededo, Guam. Appreciate you all hanging out with us. We're going to get the AP News in just a bit. Don't forget, again, the Simon Sanchez High School stand-up peaceful and proactive movement, Sunday, August 23rd from 4 to 6 p.m. Don't forget the Togi Safe Drive Home event. Again, their number 683-9276, 787-9276, and 686-9276. Call them. They're available again from 10 p.m. to 2:30 a.m. every day in August and September. All right, we'll take the break. We'll get you the AP News.
Before you go there, Anthony is actually downstairs.
Okay.
I told him to. He just called in. I told him to meet you down at the
Sweet.
lobby area.
Well, so he will be in studio, so I'll go grab him now.
Okay.
All right, so here comes your AP News. B. Babetnis, KGUM FM in Dededo, Guam.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. The Pacific-based aircraft carrier USS George Washington has begun heading toward the Middle East amid reports of mental health and supply issues aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln. The Lincoln's been at sea more than 240 days, supporting the war against Iran. Meanwhile,
clashes between Iran-backed Houthi rebels and government forces in Yemen raged overnight. The fighting came as part of a spate of recent attacks by Houthis on government-held areas across the country. I'm Karen Shamas.
Ukrainian drones struck a major refinery deep inside Russia Thursday, the fourth such attack in 3 days. Russian drone and missile strikes across Ukraine, including on a passenger train, killed at least 4 people. Economic news: inflation at the wholesale level cooled last month, but producer prices were still up 4.7% from July a year ago. President Trump's allies on the Kennedy Center board have voted to restore his name to the building and close for 2 years, challenging a judge's order. A source tells AP Luigi Mangione is expected to plead guilty in the federal case, accusing him of stalking and killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The plea could come as early as Friday. And Jennifer King reports.
Say what you say. In Las Vegas, a jury has been selected for the trial of Dwayne Davis, an ex-gang leader accused of orchestrating Tupac Shakur's killing in 1996.
We're pretty much done for the day.
Attorneys spent 4 days selecting 6 men and 10 women for the jury. Opening statements begin Monday. Dozens of witnesses are expected. Attorneys say Sean Diddy Combs will not be called, and Death Row Records co-founder Marion Suge Knight, who's serving a 28-year sentence for killing a Compton businessman, says he wants no part of the trial. Knight survived the shooting. He was driving the BMW with Shakur in the passenger seat. Tupac died at the age of 25 during a fierce battle for dominance in the hip-hop industry and is still considered one of the most influential rappers of all time. I'm Jennifer King.
This is AP News. A marine heat wave is warming coastal waters off California, and Lisa Dwyer reports.
2 state beaches near Huntington Beach have reported more than 3,100 stingray incidents so far this year, twice the number for all of 2025. Researchers are catching the rays in nets and clipping their sharp barbs.
Seal Beach in Southern California, better known as Ray Bay.
Long Beach State University professor Chris Lowe.
Round stingrays seem to aggregate here, probably because there's a power plant that discharges warm water, and the sediments are fine, which makes for an ideal stingray habitat.
Their numbers are in the thousands.
And we've estimated at this beach on one day, there are probably over 16,000 rays in an area the size of a football field.
And this year,
during El Niños, we get more of them up from the south, and they come closer to shore. So this year, we're expecting record numbers.
I'm Lisa Dwyer.
There's more news at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
Straight up 4:02 in the afternoon, and right about now it's time to check in the roads of Guam as we help you move forward along with Guam Auto Spot. All right, if you are currently on Route 1 and you are at the, I want to say Assam Beach Park, headed up northbound, traffic seems to be going back all the way at the Assam Beach Park, all the way up to the intersection at the governor's office. So if you're headed up northbound on that route, Route 1, you're going to be feeling some slow-going traffic there. Traffic is built up, so just be patient. All right, moving right along to the Hagåtña Chief Kapua Loop. Traffic seems to be moving smoothly there. But right around the boat basing area, that intersection, you're going to feel some slow-going traffic. I see nothing but red lines. Moving up at the intersection where Chief Kapua Loop is at, if you're on Route 4 trying to get onto Route 1, slow-going traffic there. That was a look at traffic moving you forward along with Guam Auto Spot. Don't forget to check them out at guamautospot.com. Give them a call. Check out their inventory. Set up a test drive at 671-478-AUTO. All right, when we come back, more of the bright side with Mr. Pauly Suba right after this.
You're listening to KGUM-FM Dedido, Wave 105.1 FM, the Talk of Guam, a proud Glimpses media radio station.
Eat fresh in just a few clicks. Order online at SubwayPacific.com for pickup or delivery. Online ordering at SubwayPacific.com is powered by Good to Go, We Deliver. At Subway, you gotta refresh to be fresh.
Need a truck that works as hard as you do? Then head to Triple J Ford's Big Deals on Big Wheels sales event. For a limited time, score prices below dealer cost and drive home America's best-selling truck for 49 years. The legendary Ford F-150 starting at just $39,995. Choose from the rugged XL, stylish STX, or well-equipped XLT. All backed by the strength, capability, and innovation only Ford delivers. But don't wait. All stock must go. Visit Triple J Ford in Upper Tumon or get pre-approved and shop online at triplejguam.com. Triple J Ford, customers first.
Got friends who still haven't switched to GTA? Now's the time to give them a nudge because you can get up to $150 just for sending them our way. Refer a friend who signs up for a single service like wireless or internet and you'll score $100. And if they go for a choice bundle, that's a cool $150 in your pocket. It's simple, it's sweet, and it pays to share. Visit GTA.net to start referring today. GTA, we start with you. Terms and conditions apply. Visit GTA.net for more information.
The countdown has begun. Cost You Less is preparing something special for Hagana, and you won't want to miss it. Family fun, live entertainment, community celebrations, and more are on the way. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for details. Half a day, Hagana. The afternoon slump is real. Why wait? Head over to Hagana Shopping Center and cool down with refreshing boba from Cha Time or a sweet shaved ice from Snowberry. Craving something warm and fresh? Follow your nose to the aroma of Cinnabon or a classic bite from Pretzel Maker. And before you head home, stop by SM Island to load up on your favorite sweet and savory snacks for the weekend. With endless parking and a gazillion choices, your perfect afternoon escape is right here at Hagana Shopping Center.
Pat's Tinting and Detailing offers premier services from complete interior cleaning and VIP detailing. And to keep you cool, Pat's also offers factory, ceramic, blacked out, and base-approved auto tinting. For more information, call 647-SLAM.
Half a day, I'm Callan Perez and I'm running for senator. Service to our island has shaped my life, from community advocacy and substance abuse recovery to supporting sustainable agriculture. Inspired by my parents, Dr. Perez and Dr. Erickson, I remain committed to serving the people of Guam.
Terror.
I'm Callan Perez and I approve this message.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
That's what we were taught, service before self.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Here for the community. Wave 105 FM.
Hey.
4:07 in the afternoon. This is the BrightSide right here on Wave 105. Standing by, Mr. Pauly Suba. Buenas.
We do want to thank our sponsors, MicroPack. Don't miss a memory. Get your travel cameras and storage essentials in MicroPack today. Subway, you got to refresh to be fresh. Triple J, it's big deals on big wheels at Triple J Ford. Save thousands off retail and drive home a new Ford F-150 starting at just $39,995. Visit Triple J Ford today. Customers first. GTA, we start with you. And Chili's Grill and Bar. Chili's, more life, great food and memories happen here. And like we were sharing before we got to the top of the hour, we were going to be having a conversation with the champ himself. The champ is here, Anthony Cruz.
I appreciate that, Pauly. I don't know about champ. I'm just one of many awesome jiu-jitsu martial arts athletes that we have on the island.
Well, you're very inspiring. You inspire so many people of all ages, right? And this event that we're going to be talking to is inspiring in itself. The Walk Different, Every Step Matters, a journey across Guam to raise awareness, acceptance, and support for individuals and families affected by autism. And so this is going down Saturday, September 5th. And so I see that your shirt has the logo of Off the Spectrum, right? And so you're representing that organization.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So that's a great question, Pauly.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm just one small part of the organization. We have a lot of people working behind the scenes to make Walk Different possible. I have a couple other great business partners. His name, one of our business partners is Isaac Doines.
Yeah.
Another one guy we got is Victor Tights. You know, great guys, entrepreneurs. And we also have an amazing team that's going to make the live stream possible. We got Ben Schiff from Alter Ego. Man, he's going to make it the best live stream. And we have Darian from DC Smart Ops. It's a new business that's opening on Island, and he helps automate businesses utilizing AI software. So he's utilizing AI to help businesses automate their processes and their services, and he's playing a big role in constructing our website to make the live stream as best as possible.
Okay, and so let's talk about this event. And so why was it important to put together an event like this? This is a big endeavor. I think a lot of people want to support in so many ways and has been supporting, right? But why now?
You know, that's a great question, Pauly. And I think if anyone kind of follows me on social media, they saw one of my videos where I reacted to kind of that insensitive mark that was made at that one political rally.
Sure.
And, you know, I want to reiterate, I have no political interest, and really that comment could have happened at a jiu-jitsu tournament, and I still would have felt the same way. I would have been upset about that comment. And for months, even before that comment was made and that viral video made its way around, my business partners and I have been trying to organize an autism awareness event.
Okay.
We've really been trying. We've reached out to so many different companies to acquire funds for sponsorship, to secure venues, to do different things to promote our initial idea, which was kind of like a little bit like an autism fair, like a carnival on the outside, kind of like slides, games, and then on the inside, for example, let's say it's at Father Doines Phoenix Center. On the inside, we have kind of like educational resources, like kind of like an award ceremony to recognize important figures in the community on Guam for their benefits towards the community of autism, right? But then we quickly transitioned to, okay, if we don't have the funds to do something completely elaborate like a fair, why don't we find a way to create immense awareness for autism, but maybe in a way that we can touch a little bit more on the digital side. So we're like, bro, let's do something memorable. Let's walk the island, and then let's live stream it. Literally, my business partners and I, we came to that idea, and ever since then, we've been building upon that idea, right? Kind of like starting a business. You have an idea, you build upon it, you put it into real action, and man, thanks to so many people who have supported, it's going down September 5.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And so I've seen Frank do something similar, and I think he went the other way. I think he went Malesu up to Letexan, right? And it was also to raise awareness. If Frank's listening, I apologize. I don't remember what he was raising awareness for, but it's not an easy walk, you know. And Frank was, at that time, he was doing it himself, right? And so, who are you inviting to do this walk from Anderson Air Force Base to the Malesu Pier?
That's a great question, Pauly. So check it out. We are opening this to the public. We already have about 20 people confirmed to walk the whole thing. From start to finish. We got about 20 people that are locked and loaded, ready to hop on. We're very much open to anyone that wants to be able to join the walk completely. You can either message us on Instagram at Off the Spectrum Guam, or you guys can also contact me directly. My number is always open, 671-777-8188. Like I mentioned before, we have one of our sponsors, DC Smart Ops, Mr. Darian. He's working on something for us, and he's working on something to where people can easily sign up for the walk. And not only do you need to do the walk completely, we also have the option to where if you want to walk even just a portion of it, or even if you want to have like a relay team, or let's say it's 5 of you and you guys share the route from the beginning to the end, we absolutely will allow that. Of course, if someone wants to partake in the walk, we are not going going to say, no, you can't join in. Man, the more people that we can get to participate, and not only participate, but the more people we can get to tune in on the live stream, super crucial. So obviously with the live stream, with it being a digital platform, our reach is endless. We don't want it to end here on Guam. We want to be able to intrigue viewers from the States. There's a lot of families on Guam where they had an autistic children, and because of the lack of resources, a lot of them move off island. So we want to get people like that to tune in, right? Tune in. You're going to be able to donate to ACT via the live stream, and there's also going to be merchandise for sale. So we want to make the live stream, obviously, no one's just going to be watching us walk for like 15, 16 hours. We want to make it like a memorable event, right? We want to make it kind of entertaining. We want to make it in many ways kind of sentimental and emotional, kind of peeking towards the community, the autism community. So, man, we got a lot of great ideas. My business partners and I, man, it's going to be awesome.
What about cheering squads along the way?
Oh, that's a great question. So, Pauly, one of our good friends, Mikkel, he was hanging out with us at the office a couple days ago, and he was like, hey, Anthony, amazing idea to do the live stream, but how about a more physical touch? Are you going to have people cheering? And I'm like, how's that? He's like, why don't you establish scheduled checkpoints? Estimated times where the crew that's walking the island is intended to pass a certain checkpoint. And we're absolutely going to implement that. So we're going to start working with the different mayor's offices in terms of the route that we're going along for the length of the island walk. And we're going to set up some nice checkpoints where people can rally. People can donate physically in terms of monetary cash. If they're not into the whole, utilizing digital, they can visit us in person. They can cheer us on. So we have different checkpoints along the way. So that's a great question, sir.
I am absolutely loving this whole thing. I can see how the whole island can come together in one way or another, either walk themselves along with you, take, not having to do the whole walk if they don't want, but, take just being right alongside you and the 20 others, and then also watching the stream either from home or from work if they work on Saturday, or their family and friends off island. We all let them know that this is happening, that they can log on to the stream and donate, buy merchandise along the way, hear stories too, I imagine.
Absolutely. That's something that we very much want to implement. Maybe whether it's live phone calls or even pre-recorded interviews where people can tune in and be able to not only see us walking, but obviously to maybe hear some emotional stories that adds a little bit more understanding and more empathy to all the viewers that tune in.
Well, I've watched your footage, and can you just share with our audience, for those that haven't, again, your own story with your family as well, so that they understand fully what it means to either live with autism or also to be challenged by it, but also overcome all of those challenges.
Sure, Pauly. I'd be happy to elaborate a little bit on a little background story on how I got almost motivated and inspired to be placed in a position for autism advocacy. My son, individually, my son has autism, right? My son's 4 years old. I got the best son, and man, he's the best. Like my child, you give him like all these flashcards, you give him all these books, man. He can memorize like passages from books. You give him like 100 different flashcards of like all these different kinds of birds, animals. He's got it. But in terms of communicating directly between myself and others, he is challenged with that at the moment, and that's not to say he's going to be like that forever, but at this current time, very much a challenge to communicate with my son. So being a lot more attentive and aware of his ways of communicating, I've really learned to develop more patience and understanding as a person. Hey, listen, Pauly, I'm just going to keep it honest. There's a lot of people that might be listening like, yo, Anthony's like the last person we would have ever expected to do some kind of autism advocacy. But the truth of the matter is, man, is when you're placed in a position where you're living with this and your closest person to you is going through these challenges, I have no choice but to be inspired and, to want to make an impact in the community.
Well, also when I look at the what I've been watching you in the jiu-jitsu realm, right? I see the way you also treat your competitor as well. You're very competitive on the mat, but there's this camaraderie, right? That only somebody can relate to when they're on the mats as well, right? And so you have this fighter mentality, but you also have this kindness about you.
I think it depends what social circle you're asking. You probably my.
Well, then you probably turn it on when I interview you, then, right? Because you always have this big smile on your face, like this entire conversation, you haven't stopped smiling. And the one time that I was able to interview you when you went up against Frank, right after you were talking to me about the event, right, and you never stopped smiling.
Oh man, I appreciate that, brother. I mean, generally speaking, doesn't matter what endeavor I'm in, whether it's business, whether it's jiu-jitsu, I'm always going to have a positive attitude. I think there's a lot of things to be learned as a person, but I think to develop a positive attitude is absolutely crucial. I think like friends of mine who know me behind the scenes, they know I am like a cool guy, but I'm a little bit of a jokester, a little bit of a bully with my friends, with people I don't know, obviously, that don't treat them that way. But my closest friends are like, no way, Anthony's such a jerk. Like you're saying, like I'm so kind. Maybe even my family members like, no way. Like people call me Ant, like Ant, so whatever. But bro,
but was that respect though from the jiu-jitsu? Because there is a certain demand, right, and a standard about how you treat those that are in the same field as you are as competitors, right? Like there's a mutual respect there.
Absolutely. I think jiu-jitsu very much does develop a certain camaraderie, even if you're not necessarily sharing the mats with a set individual on a daily basis. Just the fact that you both understand the different challenges and struggles involved with the sport of jiu-jitsu, you both can develop a deeper relationship. And I think in many ways, autism is kind of related to that.
Sure.
Just a little background story as well. So my boy Antonius has autism, but I've actually had immediate family members with children with autism, and I would witness them interact with their child. I would witness them, be there for their child. And, there's a difference between knowing and understanding. And I think I used to know some of the struggles of parents of autism, but I never understood it. I never actually went through that fire, and which is what I'm going through now. But, as much as I would like to speak on the challenges, man, I have nothing but the best things to say about fatherhood, So as challenging as it is, it's also very rewarding. So it's, nothing meaningful is easy, right?
Well, you're always willing to fight for yourself on the mat, but I can tell that you are ready at every second to fight for your family. And in a lot of ways, this event is exactly what you're doing.
Absolutely, Pauly. It's interesting that you bring that up because, when you become a father, you kind of develop this. I mean, I've always had this, but you do develop this mentality of wanting to do anything for your child, right? Wanting to do anything for your child, wanting to protect them. And that's the thing about being a parent of a child with autism is it's a little bit of there's a little fear involved. And the fear for me is when my child starts going to school, right? Like if, for example, if kids bully him, like maybe he might not be able to communicate that to me at that present time, right? So if I can just add a message to the viewers that are listening at home, even if you're a parent of a child who's not on the spectrum, you can very much do your part to spread awareness by talking to your child, maybe school starting, right? So it's an excellent opportunity to sit your child down and say, hey, if you notice there's a kid that maybe isn't talking to people, maybe they're kind of like off doing their own thing, rather than joining the crowd and possibly picking on that kid, why don't you be like that one friend in the friend group that's like, yo, that's not that's not good. Let's treat him or her right.
Yeah, for sure. And also when we look at this event and we see how people are reacting, not just on the social media, but you're saying people are now aware that this event is happening, right? And what would you like to say to the community in the island that is now starting to embrace not just the event, but just families in general, individuals in general that are now, not, I wouldn't say offended, but are speaking up and willing to stand in the gap for people that live this life every day?
It's interesting. That's a great point that you bring up, Pauly. I was speaking to Troy Torres from Candid News earlier today, and we kind of had a similar dialogue because, I'm backtracking a little bit to that comment that was made at that political rally. I mean, I'm on a group chat with all the different parents involved with the autism community called ACT, Autism Community Together, head by Josephine Blas,
Yes.
and she's great.
She's
she does
a champion too,
she's
like yourself.
awesome, bro. She does so much for our community.
Yes.
And with us at Off the Spectrum, we want to do our part to help her out, right? And I think like the one thing that I've noticed from being in the community is how upset people were from those comments that were made, right? At that political rally. This discontent that many of these parents expressed on their group chat, I didn't realize how deeply it affected some of these people. And when I started to see their reaction, I was very much inspired myself to say, hey, that wasn't right. And it's important that we as a community take a stand in changing the mentality and adding a lot more understanding and empathy to those on the spectrum and to those who help those on the spectrum. But it's interesting because, you turn negatives into positives.
I see that through
and
this.
Although that comment that was made definitely triggered some people and definitely got a lot of people upset, in some weird way, it kind of brought even people that are not connected to anyone on the spectrum, it kind of brought us together because they started to see how upset the parents of children of autism were. You're like, yo, you guys are absolutely right. That is not right, right? And I feel like we were able to convert that negative into positive, and now with Walk Different happening, we want to keep this ball going.
Yes.
And I think for my business partners and I, when we look at Walk Different, we don't want to have this be some one-off event that, hey, we do a good thing one time and then, okay, that's it. We don't want to do that. We want this to really be like a catalyst and a further tipping point to allow us to keep spreading the message of autism advocacy and, being a source of inspiration for the community.
Yeah, the goal I hope for all of us that live here and abroad is that, like what you were saying earlier, that families tend to leave the island, and for one reason or another, because of the lack of services, lack of healthcare services, lack of mental health services, lack of opportunities. And so I hope that our leaders, our decision makers, but all of us as a community understand where our priorities are and start putting more focus and putting more resources, putting more finances into these programs that keep this community healthy. And so we don't have to go somewhere else to find a specialist, go somewhere else to find a program that doesn't exist here. Because if we don't do that, all families will eventually have to leave because they have to do what's best for their family.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And, like I mentioned, I have my first cousin. She has a child on the spectrum, and her family had to uproot to go to Arizona to receive different type of benefits in terms of assistance for families with children on the spectrum. As a father, of course, for me, I do very much wish and I very much push for, our local government to utilize a certain amount of funds to be of more assistance to families with children on the spectrum. But at the same time, there's the flip side of that is I only can focus on what I can control.
Right.
And I can't stress myself out of things that I can't control. So I guess as a father with autism, of a child with autism, all you can do is very much be a protector and a positive light in your child's life. And from a government perspective, I guess our event and the people that we have that are very much part of our event could keep the ball going in terms of bringing more awareness and more push for the government to do something positive for it.
Because I'm not even talking about government, like local government. I'm talking even more holistic. And I think non-government organizations, NGOs, nonprofit organizations are the soul of a community, because they're doing things not for profit. You know what I'm saying? There's so many volunteers behind this movement. And so volunteerism they're the heart of anything and the heart of a community, because they're not looking for any kind of gratification or financial help, because they see that the movement itself is that important. And that's why I appreciate the organizations that you work with, that you have become. And so it's bigger than just a joke now. And it's always been that. Now we just have to, we have to stay in this mindset.
Absolutely. It's funny that you bring up volunteerism. It's crazy because for us running the event, we wanted to. My business partners and I like, man, hopefully we can get at least like 5 volunteers to help us out. Bro, I just put out an Instagram story. We have 30 people volunteered to help us out. I don't even know if we need 30 people, but we have 30 people, and I'm pretty sure there's much more out there that maybe they just didn't see the Instagram story. They didn't get word about it.
Right.
But we have so many people willing to help out. We have a great community of people that want to see change. And man, it's a beautiful thing. Not only the volunteers, but like I said, we got about 20 people and growing of people willing to walk the island for autism awareness. Man, it's crazy.
Have you done the walk before? Have you done the trek? I mean, training wise,
Hey, listen, I'm that kind of guy that when I pull up to Kmart, I try to park right in the front. You know what I mean? I try to park right in the front. You talking about walking the whole island? Hey, before autism awareness, you asking me to walk the whole island? Hey, listen, a walk for me is when Donkey is completely packed. I got to park at the end of the parking lot and walk all the way down. I mean, for me, in terms of physical capacity, of course I can walk the whole island. I'm ready to rock and roll. But in terms of willingness prior to this event, hell no.
So it starts at 12 a.m., right? Right? Where do people meet?
So
Anderson Air Force Base front gate?
We're going to be kicking off from Anderson Air Force Base front gate. We're working with a couple car dealerships to secure a nice little sponsorship so that we can have a vehicle to follow the walkers throughout the event. Obviously, they can't be crawling the whole time, but they can be within the vicinity of the walkers to have battery packs for phones, water, hydration, anything that's from a health standpoint and from a well-being standpoint, we're going to take care of everyone. They don't got to worry about getting dehydrated. They don't got to worry about anything like that. And we want to have a vehicle follow the walkers throughout the process so that in the event, let's say somebody's like, bro, dude, I thought I could do it. Bro, my Guam is hot. Put me in the car and blast the AC. We want to have the vehicle ready so that, they can, for safety purposes as well.
Do you have pit stops along the way where you'll take like a little bit longer water breaks?
Exactly. So you mentioned about those different checkpoints. Yeah. We want to work, and hopefully maybe we have different business owners and people in the community listening in. We're going from Anderson Air Force Base down to Molesso Pier.
Right.
We're going through basically the Marine driveway.
Right. Marine Route 1 to Route 2, basically, right?
Man, Pauly, when it comes to the numbers of these routes, man, you're talking to the wrong guy. Am I passing Kmart? Where am I?
Yeah. Marine Corps Drive, and then you make the left turn at Naval Base, right? and you take that route through Hogget and then
yes. So we're going that way.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So we're not going through the that kind of Dedido, Manguilao, Chalapago.
Right.
We're on the opposite side, the west side.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
We're on the west side of the island, walking all the way. So if there's business owners who have business establishments on the roadside, please hit us up at Off the Spectrum Guam. The event's on a Saturday, man. All we ask is if you would like to provide water. We're gonna have, remember how I mentioned we're gonna have checkpoints? We're gonna have a crew in a truck. They're going to be setting up the pop-up canopy at the next checkpoint.
Right.
After that checkpoint's done, they're going to pop up and go to another. But like I said, if there's businesses that want to provide their moral support, that want to be on the sidelines cheering us on, setting up a little water station, doesn't have to just be water. It could be drinks or whatever it may be. Please, that is welcome and very encouraging.
I have a feeling just random families will just park along the side of the road too. And just be there to give you that support.
And that's the beautiful thing about the live stream is they can tune in to where we're at.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, hey, where the heck are these guys at? Girl, tune into the live stream. You go find out real quick where we're at.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to mention? I really appreciate this. I know we're going to track this whole event and let our audience know that this is happening. If there's anything that you would like from us, we're more than happy to continue to share that love too for what you're doing for the entire community.
Awesome. That'd be much appreciated, Pauly. I mean, if you can just you personally, if you could just continue to speak on the event every once in a while during your shows, that'd be nice.
Absolutely.
For the community on Guam, partaking in the walk, whether it's physically partaking or partaking via tuning into the live stream, and any form of monetary donation is so appreciated. We're going to have Off the Spectrum apparel. We're going to have, nice little gear that's cool, that's stylish, but also very much represents autism advocacy, right?
They can call your number too to volunteer, corporate sponsors, all of that.
Anything.
The number here.
Anything you guys need, please. You guys can reach me 777-8188 or follow us at Off the Spectrum Guam on Instagram. We're gonna launch a TikTok soon. People seem to be on TikTok as well, so we want to get on more social media platforms. We're planning to stream the event on 3 different platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. And we want to, Ben from Alter Ego, he's the best. We're going to have the professional aspect of the live stream with the high quality camera, but we're also going to do it a little cowboy style. We're going to stream one of the perspectives from an iPhone, so different walkers can share the iPhone. They can take turns kind of doing their own little mini hosting of the event, right? So we want to make it, of course, we want this to be the biggest thing for autism advocacy, but we want to make it fun. We want to make it fun, and we want to make supporting autism cool, because it is cool. Because there's nothing cool about making jokes about kids riding the short bus and things like that. That's not cool. And anyone who thinks those kind of jokes are cool, I invite them to a free jiu-jitsu class. I'd be happy to sponsor it.
There you go. I appreciate you very much, brother. Anthony. Thank you for the opportunity to learn more again about the Walk Different, Every Step Matters, a journey across Guam to raise awareness, acceptance, and support for individuals and families affected by autism. It's going down Saturday, September 5th, 12 a.m. all the way to 4 p.m. Open registration until about September 4th. Yeah, go ahead.
One more thing, guys. One more thing. So check it out. Almost forgot to mention, to coincide with the length of the island walk, we've actually teamed up with the Molesto Mayor. And
Mayor Champaco.
If anyone's got information about those birds in Molesto, I heard there's a little bit of a bird problem.
Yes. The naughties.
The mayor is going to do everything he can to get the place best suited for. We want to have like a little mini fair.
Okay.
at the pier, or if the pier is unsuitable, anywhere in Molesso, where I think somebody hit me up and say, hey, have you tried the baseball field?
Oh, yeah.
So we want to do like a mini fair. We want to get a few food trucks involved.
Oh, nice.
Different people that maybe want to pop up their businesses and show love to the community, for the autism community. That'll be great. So we're not only the walk, but we're going to have a little mini fair going on in Molesso, and it's going to be a beautiful event. And nonetheless, I think it's going to really fulfill the purpose of really sharing and spreading that advocacy for autism,
Nice.
which is, I think, something the community
We'll continue to follow you at Off the Spectrum Guam.
Yes, sir.
Yeah? And again, the number is to get a hold of Alex for corporate sponsors or more information. Anthony.
Hey, Lana.
What did I say?
Alex.
Alex.
I'm an Alex.
Anthony, 671-777-8188. Sorry, I'm thinking of another fighter.
No, no worries, my brother. Thank you.
From Hogat. All right, we'll take the break again. 4:40 in the afternoon. Appreciate Anthony being here with us to learn more about the Walk Different Every Step Matters event. And so, Ryan, if you can take care of traffic for us, I'll make sure Anthony gets out of here, the champ himself, right here on Wave 105.
Your island, your conversations, your station, Wave 105.1 FM, Glimpses Media.
Got friends who still haven't switched to GTA? Now's the time to give them a nudge, because you can get up to $150 just for sending them our way. Refer a friend who signs up for a single service like wireless or internet, and you'll score $100. And if they go for a choice bundle, that's a cool $150 in your pocket. It's simple, it's sweet, and it pays to share. Visit GTA.net to start referring today. GTA, we start with you. Terms and conditions apply. Visit GTA.net for more information.
Need a truck that works as hard as you do? Then head to Triple J Ford's Big Deals on Big Wheels sales event. For a limited time, score prices below dealer cost and drive home America's best-selling truck for 49 years. The legendary Ford F-150 starting at just $39,995. Choose from the rugged XL, stylish STX, or well-equipped XLT. All backed by the strength, capability, and innovation only Ford delivers. But don't wait. All stock must go. Visit Triple J Ford in Upper Tumon or get pre-approved and shop online at triplejguam.com. Triple J Ford, customers first.
Introducing the all-new Subway Wraps. Now you can make any footlong a wrap. Light, delicious, and satisfying without weighing you down. Subway Wraps make fueling your day easier than ever with bold flavors and fresh ingredients. Try the cheesy garlic steak wrap today. Subway, eat fresh, feel good.
All right, 4:40 in the afternoon, and once again, it's about that time we check the roads of Guam. Moving you forward along with Guam Auto Spot. All right, let me see where we can go. All right, if you are currently on Route 8, headed up to the Tri-intersection northbound, at that intersection, you're going to feel some slow-going traffic if you're trying to connect onto Route 10 or Route 16. Yeah. So just be careful at that Tri-intersection in Barragata. Got some slow-going traffic northbound on that area. All right, let's move on to Marine Drive, Route 1 at the Village of Donkey intersection, Route 10A. If you're coming from the airport trying to get onto Route 1, you're going to feel some slow-going traffic there. And then turning from Route 1 and you're headed up towards the airport on Route 10A, you're going to feel some slow-going traffic there the moment you make that turn. And in that same intersection, Route 1 headed up northbound, slow-going traffic there as well. So just be patient. You'll get to where you need to go. All right, moving back down, further down on Marine Drive at the ITC intersection northbound. Major backup on that area if you're headed up northbound at the ITC intersection. And then if you're coming off from Chalon San Antonio trying to get onto Route 1 on that same intersection, you're going to feel some slow-going traffic there. And then southbound as well, traffic is building up. So just be careful. Give that distance, the braking distance between you and the car in front of you. Keep it locked on to Wave 105, and you will get to where you need to go. That was a look at traffic moving you forward. brought to you by Guam Auto Spot. Don't forget you can check them out on their website at guamautospot.com. Check out their inventory, set up a test drive, or give them a call, 671-478-AUTO. All right, we're going to take a short little break. When we come back, we're going to finish off this 4 o'clock hour and move on to the 5 o'clock hour right here on Wave 105. It's the Bright Side.
Half a day, I'm Callan Perez, and I'm running for senator. Service to our island has shaped my life, from community advocacy and substance abuse recovery to supporting sustainable agriculture. Inspired by my parents, Dr. Perez and Dr. Erickson, I remain committed to serving the people of Guam. I'm Callan Perez, and I approve this message.
The countdown has begun. Cost You Less is preparing something special for Hagåtña, and you won't want to miss it. Family fun, live entertainment, community celebrations, and more are on the way. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for details.
Pat's Tinting and Detailing offers premier services from complete interior cleaning and VIP detailing. And to keep you cool, Pat's also offers factory, ceramic, blacked out, and base-approved auto tinting. For more information, call 647-SLAM.
Our critically injured veterans and first responders are left behind every day because of inadequate wheelchairs. That's why Wheelchairs for Warriors is on a mission to serve America's heroes across the nation and provide them with custom-fit wheelchairs tailored to fit their needs, to ensure they're rejoining their lives at the highest level of independent mobility and function possible. From lightweight daily use chairs or adaptive sports chairs to all-terrain wheelchairs to get these warriors outdoors. Wheelchairs for Warriors serves those who've served us. To join their mission, visit their website at wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
This is where Guam comes to talk. Wave 105, a Glimpses of Guam radio station.
Welcome back to the show. We're 46 minutes into the hour of 4 o'clock. Slowly approaching the 5 o'clock hour. Thank you for tuning in. Here's the number, 671-922-1051 or 2. Sending it back to Mr. Pauly Suba. Buenas.
All right, welcome back. Wave 105, Viva Betness!
Viva!
I'm starting to see a bunch of releases coming in from legislators.
Okay. Are they still in session?
I didn't peek in, but I know that they started up again for the afternoon, so I don't know exactly where they're at. Obviously, they are still discussing amendments, or they were still discussing amendments regarding the governor's Bill 110S, right? It's her substitute budget bill. So I'm looking at this release from Senator Sean Gumatautal.
Yeah, they are on.
So they're still there.
I see the live logo here.
Yeah.
The icon.
So he just sent this over, and so he is against the governor's proposal to impose a basically a 5% BPT on all military build-up construction contracts. Currently, there is a cap, right? Anything below, above $10 million, that stays at 5%, right? However, any military build-up construction contract would remain at 5% BPT if this bill gets signed into law, as with that part in the bill. It's not an amendment; it is part of the bill.
Isn't that wasn't that Senator Cello's?
but it didn't pass. So
okay.
that was an amendment that she was trying to put in when the legislature was debating their own budget bill, and so the governor herself, said that's a great idea. And so she got together with her fiscal team and said, that's what we should be doing. So the compromise, again, is 4% BPT. She's not trying to increase it anymore. That's her compromise, right? And Senator Chris Barnett had said on the record, I believe yesterday, that that's a cop-out, right? That she basically...
Switched up.
Yeah, and so she gave in. I forgot what the other word was that he used a different word, and she says no. It's a compromise. I know it was Lester Carlson that said yesterday that they understood when they were meeting amongst themselves, him, her, the governor, and Edward Byrne. I don't know who else was in that room, and they understood that there's no political will. They don't have the numbers, right? And so it is law that fiscal year 2027 will be, the BPT will be at 4%. So she wanted to at least keep the BPT at 5% for all military buildup construction contracts. So I haven't been tracking, but it sounds like Senator Shanguma Tautau again made an amendment to remove that part of Bill 110S. But it did not secure enough votes during session this afternoon. I think I'm only reading body language and just things that the governor has said, Lester has said, Ed Byrne has said, Senator Chris Duenas, right? Speaker Frank. Just here and there, because I'm basically just connecting dots, right? That they're all willing to work together at this point, because Lester was saying the other day, do you really want to go back and forth like the days when Senator Ben Pangilinan and Mark Forbes were in the legislature, where apparently they kept sending back and forth budget bills, right? Like 7 times.
Yeah.
He goes, do you really want to do that? So acknowledging that we've made some compromises, are you willing to make some compromises too now?
Well,
and so Speaker had said that we're about 95-ish percent in agreement.
Yeah. You know, and you know, for the senators down there that are still trying to put up the fight, it better be on the merit, because if it's just if it's just a grandstanding opportunity for you to make the governor look bad, or the governor to make you guys look bad, ultimately, if this thing is not passed at a certain time, I believe on October, there's going to be a government shutdown.
Government shutdown, September 30 at 11:59, 59 seconds.
Yeah, no, and just to add on to what Lester Carlson said, asking them, do you really want to go back to those days? Well, hey, along with what he said, do you really want to have a government shutdown right before the election? Because I can guarantee you this much: there's going to be a shutdown come November 3rd. That's what people, at least everybody in the legislature that is running for office or re-election, you really, really need to think about that. I don't think, for political survival, I would not want to touch that with a 10-foot pole if I was a sitting senator. I'm like, no, all right, 95%, we are in agreement. All right, let's do it. It's all about compromise.
Senator Tello was even asking Gita, how much longer do you think this military buildup will last?
Yeah.
3 years? And Tina Garcia said, about 3 more years.
Yeah.
And so all of these opportunities to collect taxes from these military contracts will end in about 3 years. And so Senator Tello, it resonated with me what she had said too, though. She said, what is the point? What was, understanding that we have this hyper-militarization that's happening in our very own neighborhood, it's a little easier to swallow when we know that we can benefit from these taxes to create a healthier environment, create a healthier economy, a healthier public health system, a healthier public education system. And, what do we have to show for it after all of this? Do we have a better quality of life? Do we have things that help us become more, I wouldn't say prosperous. It's not really about being prosperous. It's just about being able to have some breathing room as well, and being able to have some a decent way of life where we're not necessarily struggling at every second of the day. And so there's an opportunity here, right? And so when we know that door is going to be closing very soon, you got to take that opportunity. So we'll see what happens. From what I haven't watched it, but it looks like it was an amendment from Senator Shangu Matautal, and that failed. And where will anybody else want to introduce another amendment to do that? I don't know. I don't think that will be happening unless we pay better attention. But based on what Senator Shangu Matautal has just shared with the media, that his amendment to stop that from happening failed. And so I'm just trying to do some quick reading here to see if that's not the case. But that's what it looks like. It looks like that's going to stay in the budget bill, that at least the 5% BPT remains for all military build-up construction contracts for fiscal year 2027. Senator Shangu Matautal says that he proffered the amendment because the value we place on hard work and success should not be met by our own government with a different, harsher tax treatment than the one it offers every other sector of our economy. That is the entire question before senators. Why should a Guam company doing construction work for our military be taxed at a higher rate than the same company doing the exact same work here for anyone else? He says, I worked for a Fortune 100 company that has done and continues to do a great deal of work here in Guam. They have followed every Guam law and paid every Guam tax, as did all of their local subcontractors. I have also been part of a Guam small business that grew exponentially through work on our military installations, growth that meant taking on more responsibility, more risk, and more direct contracts of our own, rather than staying content as someone else's subcontractor for what seemed like forever. That is the story this amendment is really about. We are not just talking about protecting the businesses already here. We are talking about the Guam companies that are on contract away from graduating from subcontractor to prime contractor, from doing the work to leading the work. Under the governor's BPT proposal, the moment a Guam company succeeds enough to hold that prime contract directly, this government rewards that success with a penalty no competitor from off-island pays for doing business anywhere else in our economy. And so there's some points there, but the point that from Senator Tello Taitagui has been is who pays the BPT? It's in the contract. It's the military. So.
Interesting.
And then Senator Tello also sent something earlier today, but this is about her amendment to rebuild Guam's rainy day fund. I saw some contention there, but obviously it ended up passing. Senator Chris Barnett was not satisfied with the amendment, only because if we are going to put whatever excess revenue is available to go into the rainy day fund, then what funding is left for any of the other amendments that they're going to want to implement later? There probably won't be much. And so that was his argument. However, it did pass.
Well, we definitely need it. I mean, when you consider, the natural disasters that we're having, we need a fund. I mean, especially like when you're looking in the excess of $25 million right off the bat to prepare for a storm. I mean, anything can happen, and it was always the legislature's practice to put money aside for this.
Well, they were ready to put another $19 million after Bavi, but after Sinlaku. But guess what happened? Bavi came.
Yeah.
And so that $19 million that they were going to put it back in the rainy day fund.
Yeah. And they
had to use it for Bavi.
And this was the what was left of that the mayors did not use. Right.
What was left that the
From the
entire
25,
government did not use.
Okay, the 25
for
million that they
the
given.
preparation,
Okay.
the recovery efforts, right?
Yeah.
Lester Carlson says it makes sense to take that $19 million that we didn't use, put it back in the rainy day fund. That would be responsible.
Yeah.
But then Bobby came, and they had to use a good amount of that $19 million, eventually all of it.
Yeah.
Right? And so...
put it in a lockbox and make sure it doesn't be used for, vendor payments.
Right. Right.
Because for some odd reason, I'm just seeing this happen. I think right after the dust settles with the general election, you're going to see a lot of these vendor payments come up and everything, and people are like, "And we just elected this person." Jeez,
Right.
wow. Yeah.
So, Senator Taitagui cited Lester Carlson, director of BBMR, who reported the current rainy day fund contains less than $55 million. Should Guam experience another emergency, the rainy day fund could be completely drained by the end of the year. And that was the whole reason why she felt that it was important to introduce this amendment, right? So it ultimately passed. Speaker Frank spoke in support of the amendment. This amendment provides us the opportunity that just in case we may need this money down the road for another disaster, whether it be natural or man-made or a crisis caused by a government service that can no longer be provided, that we have the means to be able to address it. And so they had majority votes to pass it. And so that is the amendment. It funds previously appropriated from fiscal year 2026 excess general fund revenues later lapse or revert to the general fund. Those funds would then become subject to the amendment and be deposited into the rainy day fund up to the statutory limit, right? And so when Sinlaku turned to the rainy day fund, Public Law 38-124 authorized $17.9 million from that reserve for emergency response. Then came Bobby. And so she says we allowed unused Sinlaku funding to be used for Bobby and later approved another $13 million from the rainy day fund for response and recovery. That is more than $31 million in potential use of this reserve in a matter of months. And so she said, I supported using it because because that is exactly why we have a rainy day fund. But when we have the opportunity to put money back, we should.
Yes. We have a caller on line one that wants to talk about this.
KGUM FM in Dededo, Guam. Let me do this, and so we don't have to go to the break right away. But I do want to show love to our sponsors, if that's okay, because I definitely want to do that sooner than later. So let me just thank our sponsors, MicroPack for sound tech and everything in between. Think MicroPack. Subway, you got to refresh to be fresh. Triple J, it's big deals on big wheels at Triple J Ford. Save thousands off retail and drive home a new Ford F-150 starting at just $39,995. Visit Triple J Ford today. Customers first. GTA, we start with you. And Chili's Grill and Bar. At Chili's, more life, great food, and memories happen here. And so let's go to the phone line. Half-a-day caller, you're on the air.
Hey, half-a-day, Pauly. Just want to say thank you for taking my call.
Yeah, for sure.
I hear a lot of things on social media, your show, Patty Arroyo's show. All the government is talking about so much relief money for this Typhoon Sinlaku, Typhoon Bobby. It's kind of strange how they don't talk about any relief assistance for the people. It's making me a little bit. It's like somehow they're like, I don't know. Are they using the people to get some kind of federal funds? It's just we haven't heard anything from the governor or the lieutenant governor or any of the senators. I think the people deserve an answer or some kind of relief because Sinlaku, everybody. If you look, I mean. The storm, the Category 5, they were both big, Sinlaku and Bobby. And then everybody, we all had to break our banks.
Yeah.
Money that would have gone to utilities, our essentials. So we ended up getting stuff that would probably last for a week or two. and we're stuck. We've been stuck since Sinlaku. And I speak for the people of Guam and everybody, even you, Pauly, and your family. I think the governor should come up with some kind of relief assistance. That's all I got to say. And thank you.
Thank you.
Viva Guam.
Viva. I appreciate the phone call. So I saw recently the release from the governor's office, again, documenting damage, right, for the past several weeks. Gov Guam, village mayors, community groups, FEMA and the U.S. SBA have been assessing how much damage Bobby caused. And so when we look at Sinlaku, I mean, President Trump allowed our local government and federal partners to address Sinlaku ahead of time, right, and have boots on the ground and ready to be here, right, for FEMA and American Red Cross. However, when they presented their documentation, we didn't get much more after that. We didn't get like how we got with Mawar, and I would even argue we didn't even get much from Mawar either, as far as some federal relief from FEMA. I honestly, gone are the days of what we were receiving in Pong Song Wah and Chataan and even further Omar, when we would line up and get those every family would get SNAP benefits, right? And back in the day it was food stamp, right? I remember Mawar, we were able to get ourselves the D-SNAP.
Yeah, I got $300 or $300.
Right.
And, yeah.
But when we went and FEMA agents came to our house to assess damages, they were very supportive. They're like, oh man, this is terrible. This is stuff. They were documenting everything, and they were, very professional. It looked optimistic. What ended up happening? We didn't qualify. They sent us to the SBA to get a low interest loan, not a grant, not an award. Now I understand that we do have something that Department of Public Health, GURA is facilitating, right? The CDBG Disaster Relief Fund, right? That's about $500 million. And so that's a lot of that money really is going to go to low income housing, though. And so for somebody like myself, I just don't think I'm going to qualify either. However, they do, encourage everybody to. But I'm just looking at the qualification requirements, and it's just not looking like that's going to help me and my family. And so I don't think we're going to get that kind of support anymore from the federal government. And it's not just President Trump's administration. The writing was on the wall also when Biden was president, when it came to some of the support that we were used to from some of the damages that we're facing, right? And so to the caller's point, I mean, that we have to look at our own local government if that's something that our local leaders are going to prioritize. If that's something that you are looking to these legislators for the near future, ask those questions. And so I'm not agreeing one way or another. I'm just pointing out what I see. And so who has on the record wanted to or has actually introduced something like that? Senator Chris Barnett in the SUFU amendment, right? That was going to be at least $1,000 from what I remember. That would be rebates to household families to recover from Typhoon Sinlaku or Bavi, one or the other. They're all like intermixing now, right? So I don't know. I don't think that these decision makers right now, they're not even having that conversation.
Well, they need to, because we just got, there was like 3 storms that just passed us. And and according to, Landon at the National Weather Service, we're looking at potentially getting more throughout the year.
For sure. And here's my thing too, is like, I count my blessings, right? Everybody has their own challenges. Everybody is. And for the caller, I appreciate you advocating for the entire island.
Mhm.
But for me, and I'm only going to speak for me, I think we are blessed beyond measure compared to some of the other disasters that are happening around the world.
Well, we know the trend here now is the state. I mean, even President Trump is like, we're going to get rid of FEMA and we're going to pass everything on to the state because the states know their state and their people more than the federal government. So that is the trend. And so by doing this rainy day fund, again, I would lock, stock, and barrel, right? Put it in a lockbox and, put that little disclaimer that you cannot touch this for vendor payments or because somebody wants to put $100 in, power credits or whatnot. We already know that the weather is very unpredictable. Again, we just had 3 storms that passed, and this was right after Sinlaku and Bavi.
Right.
So
far the federal government is really only giving more money to qualified SNAP beneficiaries, right? So the only thing that I know of that was awarded was if you're a SNAP beneficiary and you lost your goods, then you were able to get another set of monies that was loaded into your SNAP card, your EBT card,
at a certain percentage
to replenish all the food that you lost. We didn't get DSNAP, and it's just maybe for Bavi. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna be optimistic here. However, Sinlaku and Bavi, which one hit us harder? Which one was dead center? It was Sinlaku, and we didn't get DSNAP. So you think we're going to get DSNAP for Bavi?
It ain't happening.
I'll stay optimistic. But Ryan just answered the question.
I mean.
So,
well,
5:11 in the afternoon. We don't need to do AP News, but we do got to show some love to everybody that's paying bills.
You got to look at it from this point, right? You guys got hit harder with Sinlaku, but you guys are still standing, right? That's why.
Well, and again, I'm not going to say because I can only speak for myself, but my family is safe.
Yeah.
And that really, at the end of the day,
that's all
is
that matters.
all that matters. And so my prayers go out to families in Colombia. My prayers go out to so many other countries that are people are dying. Bavi, people died in China.
And the Philippines, too, with their earthquake, too, as well.
Yeah.
So, oh, well.
Let me do this before we go to the break, right?
Sure.
Because this is some good news before we go to the break.
Do good news?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
For a change.
Finally. Talking about all
Provisions,
these
wine,
storms.
and cheese. They serve fresh salads. Right? Delicious sandwiches. And oh my goodness, that authentic Roman style pizza.
Awesome.
Provisions is open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Just talking about it makes me happy.
Yeah. Call 671-633-9463. Place your order today or visit the website provisionsguam.com. And I saw this and I was like, wow, I am so proud of this individual putting Guam on the map again, and also for the whole Elmore Hernandez family, right? So Syracuse Law highlighted Sarah Elmore Hernandez.
Yeah.
You saw it?
No. But
okay,
I
you know who
her.
Sarah is,
I
right?
used to work with her.
She's the director right now of the Women's Bureau, right?
That's our good friend Rick
Dr.
Hernandez.
Ricky.
Dr. Ricky's wife.
Yes, and
Used to work
so
with her
it
in
says
legislature.
here, as summer wraps up, we're highlighting the story of Sarah Elmore Hernandez, who spent the past 2 summers externing at the Guam Compiler of Laws, diving into the statutes and court opinions that shape the island's legal system. Sarah has served in all 3 branches of Guam's government and today leads Guam's Bureau of Women's Affairs, expanding resources for survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking. With no law school in Guam, Syracuse Law's JDI program let her earn her JD without leaving the island.
Wow.
And the community she's dedicated her career to.
That's so awesome.
She finished her final exams this year in the aftermath of Super Typhoon Bobby with internet only partially restored. Sarah Elmore Hernandez says in this in this post at Syracuse Law, if I can use what I've learned to make life better for the people in my community, then I'm exactly where I need to be.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, that is
very smart girl. I got to tell you that much.
Got me all emotional.
Yeah, I believe she used to work for Senator Mary Torres at the time.
Okay.
She was one of the staffers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, Ricky at the time was OFB.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Ricky was the director. Yeah.
That guy's like what's his name? Usher. Or no, Pharrell Williams.
Yeah.
He never ages.
Never
He's like
ages.
a vampire.
Yeah.
What do you mean he's OFB?
Yeah, he was OFB. He was an accountant by profession.
Huh.
Under BJ.
If you told me Dr. Ricky was 24 years old, I believe it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't even mess with this guy numbers, and I like to consider myself as a numbers guy. You know, if he says it's 4 and I'm looking at 3, then I know it's going to be 4.
All right, we'll take the break. Yeah.
Yes.
Once again, good news for a change from Provisions Wine and Cheese. This is Wave 105. The bright side. Viva Betness!
Viva!
Eat fresh in just a few clicks. Order online at SubwayPacific.com for pickup or delivery. Online ordering at SubwayPacific.com is powered by Good to Go. We deliver. At Subway, you gotta refresh to be fresh.
Got friends who still haven't switched to GTA? Now's the time to give them a nudge because you can get up to $150 just for sending them our way. Refer a friend who signs up for a single service like wireless or internet and you'll score $100. And if they go for a choice bundle, that's a cool $150 in your pocket. It's simple, it's sweet, and it pays to share. Visit GTA.net to start referring today. GTA, we start with you. Terms and conditions apply. Visit GTA.net for more information.
Need a truck that works as hard as you do? Then head to Triple J Ford's Big Deals on Big Wheels sales event. For a limited time, score prices below dealer cost and drive home America's best-selling truck for 49 years. The legendary Ford F-150 starting at just $39,995. Choose from the rugged XL, stylish STX, or well-equipped XLT. All backed by the strength, capability, and innovation only Ford delivers. But don't wait. All stock must go. Visit Triple J Ford in Upper Tumon or get pre-approved and shop online at triplejguam.com. Triple J Ford, customers first.
Half a day. I'm Clint Rigel, and I'm running for senator. If you're looking for proven, effective leadership, vote for me, and let's grow Guam together. I'm Clint Rigel, and I approve this message.
5:15 in the afternoon, and it's about that time we check the roads of Guam. Our first look at traffic for the 5 o'clock hour, proudly being brought to you by Guam Auto Spot as we help you move forward, letting you know where to go on the roads of Guam on your daily commute. Mr. Pauly Suba, buenas.
All right, let's break out the handy-dandy Glimpses Media traffic app here. I'm in the ocean.
Oh, really?
What happened?
I think there was a lot of military people and the island sunk.
Oh, no. We capsized already.
I
thought the population decreased. Let me see here.
We're all out fishing.
Route 1, Marine Corps Drive, heavily congested. Right when you make that, start to make that curve over by Alupan Cove. And so major delays already heading northbound through the ITC intersection, passing the village of Donkey as well. Heavy congestion down in Tumon by Epal Beach Park, trying to make their way back up to Marine Corps Drive. Once you pass the John F. Kennedy Hill, it opens up a little bit for you, but I don't know. To be honest with you, if you are trying to get up to Route 1, it's pick your poison, right? So you are going to... It will take a while for you to get up Marine Corps Drive from that John F. Kennedy Hill. And so you might want to just continue your way and try to escape Tumon from the Tarza Water Park side. But you are going to hit traffic anyways. And you're going to hit traffic by Tumon Sands Plaza. So It really is pick your poison. So either way, you'll probably both meet up anyways right around the Micronesia Mall. Route 16 is heavily congested already as well. If you make that right turn onto Harmon Loop, you'll be better off than continuing to head towards Micronesia Mall. Fatima Road as well. I think you will beat all that traffic and get to the other side by the Isangsong intersection. However, that is slow moving as well. Once you get through that, it is smooth sailing and you should be good to go all the way throughout the village of Jigo. Once again, helping you move forward on this Friday afternoon.
Friday!
It's Guam Auto Spot. 478 Auto is the number. GuamAutospot.com is the website.
Pat's Tinting and Detailing offers premier services from complete interior cleaning and VIP detailing. And to keep you cool, Pat's also offers factory, ceramic, blacked out, and based-approved auto tinting. For more information, call 647-SLAM.
Half a day, I'm Callan Perez and I'm running for senator. Service to our island has shaped my life, from community advocacy and substance abuse recovery to supporting sustainable agriculture. Inspired by my parents, Dr. Perez and Dr. Erickson, I remain committed to serving the people of Guam. I'm Callan Perez and I approve this message.
Our critically injured veterans and first responders are left behind every day because of inadequate wheelchairs. That's why Wheelchairs for Warriors is on a mission to serve America's heroes across the nation and provide them with custom-fit wheelchairs tailored to fit their needs to ensure they're rejoining their lives at the highest level of independent mobility and function possible. From lightweight daily use chairs or adaptive sports chairs to all-terrain wheelchairs to get these warriors outdoors. Wheelchairs for Warriors serves those who served us. To join their mission, visit their website at wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
The countdown has begun. Cost You Less is preparing something special for Hagana, and you won't want to miss it. Family fun, live entertainment, community celebrations, and more are on the way. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for details.
Ever dreamed of being on the radio? Now's your chance. Glimpses of Guam is looking for the next generation of on-air personalities to join our family on Wave 105. If you've got personality, creativity, and a passion for entertaining, we want to hear from you. No matter your experience level, this could be your opportunity to be heard across the airwaves. Send your resume and a short demo to jobs@glimpsesofguam.com and start your broadcasting journey today. Join the Glimpses of Guam radio team. Your voice belongs on the air on Wave 105.
Wave 105, the talk of Guam, a Glimpses of Guam radio station.
5:22 in the afternoon. Here's the number, 671-922-1051 or 2. Standing by, the host of the show, Mr. Pauly Suba. Buenas.
Welcome back. Appreciate y'all. Viva Betness!
Viva! Man, it's Friday already.
It
Woo.
sure is. I was sent a link from our friend Max, who's been tuning in as well. So Max sent me a link to the 2025-2026 Creative Catalyst Artists Fellowship Award, right? And so they awarded $30,000 to each artist to produce interdisciplinary art projects to engage the public in critical issues impacting Asian American and Pacific Islanders, or the AAPI. All of the projects will have a focus on the theme of belonging in mediums both eclectic and traditional, which include a museum book, nonfiction comic, animated oral history, video games, and portrait series, as well as a poetry, hip-hop, and documentary. And so one of the artists is from Guam, Roddy Aguero Ablao. I might be pronouncing that wrong. Who is a Seattle-based artist, designer, cultural practitioner, and community curator whose work explores indigenous and immigrant histories, cultural resilience, environmental sustainability, and queer Pacific futurism. They will create a museum book exploring Chamorro and Micronesian art, history, and culture through storytelling and creative expression, designed for children and adults alike. It will be an interactive journey in the style of art activity books filled with exercises, prompts, and ideas that encourage readers to engage and explore Micronesia in playful and accessible ways. Congratulations to Roddy Aguero Ablo, who was awarded again $30,000. And so each artist is awarded this to produce interdisciplinary art projects to engage the public in critical issues impacting Asian American and Pacific Islanders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 people were awarded. Oh, there's another one. It's not even just one. There's another. There's another tomorrow. Interesting. Craig Santos Perez, an indigenous Chamorro from Guahan, is an ethnic studies professor, poet, and the first Pacific Islander author to receive the American Book Award, Poetry Society of America Award, and National Book Award. He is based in San Diego, California, which has the largest Chamorro diasporic population. Craig will write poetry about belonging among diasporic Chamorro people, guided by Inafa Maulik, the belief that all things and beings are related in a kinship. So there are 2 Chamorros in this this group here, or this cohort of creatives. So thanks, Max. I appreciate the information. Wanted to share that as well, right? Especially when we're talking about people in our community that are inspiring us. Let me see here. There's a number of things that we can tackle before we get out of here, but I just, again, wanted to remind the community of some of these events that are happening in the very near future. What's happening right now, Togi reached out. This is, again, a non-profit organization. They do such amazing work there. They provide peer support, too, for those that are wanting to receive support. And so they provide this program called the Safe Ride Home. And I've had conversations with the Togi organization for a while now. I would say probably over a couple years now. And so they do this service. It's absolutely free. They have partnered with the Guam Office of Highway Safety, and in support of Recovery Month, they are offering a safe ride home to all every day in the month of August and September from 10 p.m. to 2:30 a.m. So not just on the weekends, they are providing this every single day. And so I was talking to Togi, and he's very concerned that nobody has called requesting for this service, right? And so we do know in our community that we have lost friends and family on the road, right? And all crashes can be prevented one way or another. So I just want to, again, spread the awareness as much as possible, and please spread this as well to your friends and family, no matter what day it is, Monday through Sunday, because they're saying every day they provide this. So you can always call them at 671-683-WARM. That's WARM, 683-9276, or 787-WARM. There's a third number, 686-WARM. So they're all WARMs, right? 683-WARM, 787-WARM, 686-WARM. Be smart before you start, because every life on the road matters. Once again, this is the Safe Ride Home program. The other flyer that was sent to me, it's for a peaceful and proactive movement. This is a call to action to join this group, this movement, at the ITC intersection at the Tamuning Mayor's Office Park, Sunday, August 23rd. So not this Sunday, the following Sunday, right? Because this Sunday is the 16th, and then the following Sunday is the 23rd. So this is to advocate to rebuild Sanchez and rebuild Sanchez now. So for any questions or concerns, you can contact Vice Speaker of the Guam Youth Congress, Trevin Atoigwe, at 686-2239. Next week, Wednesday, there's going to be a press conference regarding this very movement. And that's going to be taking place at like 6 p.m. at the Tamuning Mayor's office, right? So I'm going to see if I can make my way over there after the show and get more information about, again, this peaceful and proactive movement. I have been asked to let our audience know that they are calling on all Simon Sanchez High School alumni, all current students, and future students of Simon Sanchez High School to attend. Obviously, everybody is welcome, but they are really reaching out to any Simon Sanchez High School alumni, the current students, and future students to show up and provide some support, again, for this Sanchez High School peaceful movement to rebuild Simon Sanchez. And we know with all of the controversy that is happening, I mean, they're not even going to school now. And so, more than ever, they need your support. And then, of course, we talked to Anthony, not Alex. My bad, Anthony. I didn't even realize I said it. They are doing the Walk Different, Every Step Matters Saturday, September 5th.
Honest mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From Anderson to Cocos Island, every mind belongs, right? And so I love that statement. Mm-hmm. And it's such a wonderful cause. It really is. And I hope that the entire community just gets behind this event, and just what you saw on social media shows up on the road times 1,000.
Yes.
Somebody's on the line?
Yes, we have Jason.
Jason! I didn't even look at the preseason game yet. Did my Niners win?
I don't know, but I saw the Cardinals and the Raiders. So.
I know the Niners did play today, but, it is preseason.
Yeah. What about the Seahawks?
Nobody cares. Yeah. We lost. The Niners lost.
And the Dolphins are playing tomorrow.
They're playing tomorrow at 9.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Niners. Never mind. Just hang up on Jason. I don't even want to talk to him. It's only preseason. It's okay. We're saving all of. We're keeping everything on the low. Nobody can know what we're doing.
Yeah. Aside from losing.
Oh shoot! I just fell off my chair. Jason, what's going on, friend?
Oh my goodness! Well, like you said, it's finally time for football. That's the occasion is finally here. So I'm very, very excited and happy.
That's good.
But I also like what you were talking about with Togi. That is an interesting one, because look what's coming up. I mean, and I'm excited because basically the holiday season is going to start right after August.
Yeah, for sure.
Because September 1st.
Ooh, it's Christmas, baby.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Don't forget, the month of the birds starts in September in the Philippines, and that's Christmas.
I'm down for it. If I could celebrate Christmas in July, I'll do it too.
Man, I've been listening to Christmas music already for the last 3 months.
they do it. They do it in the Philippines. September 1st, they play Christmas music all the way until December.
I'm ready for it. I mean, with all of the chaos and everything that's going on, we could use some Christmas spirit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, you're going to see Halloween commercials all over the place next. I mean, like I said, once August 31st is gone, September 1st, mark my words, you're going to see Halloween commercials coming out for chocolate and stuff like that.
For sure, yeah.
And that it just popped in my head that I'm going to play back on your YouTube channel those numbers, and I'm going to post it all over my Facebook so that people can actually use that service, because
Yes.
that is a great service to you.
It really is. It really is, and it's kind of disheartening to know that
That
nobody
using
called it
Right.
yet, called the number, and so
Yeah, see,
they are
and that
encouraging
needs to be-
everyone to call.
Yeah,
Please.
because of the, like what I'm excited. The holiday season is coming, but there's always something that's going to happen. And man, if they can avail of that service, that would be really, really awesome. So I'm really going to try my best. I'm going to try to help them out and spread that word, because that's it's free.
Yeah.
It's free, and you don't have to worry about trying to find your keys.
Yeah, well, I know if you could be one of the chauffeurs, you would.
I honestly would.
Yeah.
That's I don't even drink at all. That's I gave that up a long time ago. My tolerance for alcohol is so high. I'd be wasting my money, so I don't even do it at all. So I'd rather just drink water and coffee.
I hate
What did
to.
you
I mean,
order?
not that I hate. I mean, I have you, and I don't want to put you in an uncomfortable situation. So I'm curious though, and you don't have to answer this. We can just change the subject. But what are your thoughts with Tees and High right now? You being a counselor, and again, I want to make sure that you're taken care of. So
like what we've. Pauly, this will come full circle. The resilience of Tees and High is very high and strong.
That's good.
It goes all the way to our staff, our faculty staff, and all the way to our students, including our parents.
Right.
That's why we have so many out of district trying to get into our school. We're like, where are all these kids coming from? Because we see the culture. We built that culture since 2014.
Well, look at the history too, right? I mean, it was, what were they using it? John F. Kennedy, when they were rebuilding John F. Kennedy. Then John F. Kennedy went back to John F. Kennedy. Then Antolon Middle School was getting rebuilt, right? They were refurbishing Antolon. The Antolon kids went into Tees and High. And then they were having the conversation, right, of making this a permanent high school, right? And they worked so hard, right, because they even came up, they had a whole contest for the mascot too, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the kids did that all on their own. They're the ones that made the final. The stakeholders made the decision. We didn't do it. The students and the parents. And when we started, we had nothing. We had chairs and desks, but we had the hand-me-down books. We didn't have any lab equipment. The culinary department didn't have any stuff. We basically started from the ground up. I didn't even have anything in my office. That's how crazy it was. But, and like I said, to start off, that's the culture. So we built that school up. I mean, the issue that we're having, that you're seeing in the news, and I hope people will understand this, coming from us, is that, we are renting the space.
Yes, we are.
And just like in all tenants of a building, if something is wrong, who do you report this to?
Supposed to go to the landlord.
Correct. So we've done that. Our principal, our administrators have actually done this. And we made the I wouldn't say, I would just call them concerns, because they are concerns and issues. We needed to always get them fixed. Why all of a sudden we're having these issues right in the beginning of the school year with another school? For the 12 years we've been open, we've never had these kind of concerns, because they're always, but it's up to the landlord to actually fix these problems. And we look at this as the silver lining in the dark cloud, that, well, now it's finally going to get fixed because of the issues that we keep bringing up to the landlord. It has to be done, and we know that because we work in the government, we work with kids, and we know that in the school environment, everything has to be safe for them.
Correct me if I'm wrong, right? Like the plumbing and all of that, the electrical, the structure is the landlord, right? The responsibility is really only like the cleaning of the classrooms and whatnot, right?
Yes, we contract companies to do that, but we police ourselves, Pauly. We teach kids, hey, come, boy, pick that up. Okay, sorry about that, sir.
Right.
We take pride in it's like our house.
Yeah. Well, eventually it will be, right? What is it, like 2040 or something? It's at least close to another 10 years before it's ours again.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we try our very best to keep things as pristine as we can. You know, but then again, this all comes down to, you know, making sure the landlords understand us, but at the same time, we are a government agency that we can only do so much with what we have.
I get it. Lester Carlson was saying, unfortunately, that's the same situation that we're running into with Ukadu and some of these other schools. Like, do you really want, when they hand over the keys after when they finally say, all right, you paid off all of your debt, you know, for the lease back, here's the keys, and then we just get a Jalunky school. Like, we should be able to, at the end of the lease agreement, to be getting a new school. And so it has to be maintained throughout this whole process.
Yeah. And, you know, and when you live in an environment where it's nice, the attitude and how your personality will actually reflect that. So that's why we've taken care of our campus so much. Trust me, I've been in there before they even paved a parking lot. You know? So I know what that place was like.
You were telling me about that, right? And so that, when I talked to Senator Vince Borja, he said, it's on the list. However, there are so many other priorities.
And, well, there's the key phrase that you said, so many, you know, priorities.
Yeah.
Well, you must start somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, let's fix one thing at a time before we fix everything.
Yeah.
You know, and here we are again, dealing with the safety and education of our kids. We have to make sure that these places are conducive for learning. But we're trying, but we're going to need everybody's help.
Right.
You know, and the kids, they're great. Pauly, when there's like Christmas vacation or spring vacation, sometimes even summer, the kids are coming there to clean themselves. Nobody hears about that. The students are coming there to do campus cleanup. And it's out of the greatness of the heart. Yeah, they get service learning, but they're scrubbing, you know, the graffiti that, you know, some kids try to, you know, think it's funny.
Right.
But they're cleaning their own school, and when they paint, they're like, man, nobody better mess this up. That's it, boy. Make sure you tell your friends, your other don't mess this up because you work hard to clean the school.
Yeah.
The OG's on with us now.
You know, we at Esmuja, we have a shower for the homeless and bathroom facilities open 24/7, right? Pretty much except for our days when our students are there. And I got them painting and working, you know, and in that aspect, there's no more graffiti or there's no more people having a problem, you know, with whatever. Scarring stuff up. Yeah. No, you're doing it exactly right. That's how you do it. It's all ownership. You know, the best thing to do is all the teachers and all the administrators leave the campus and let the kids do it. Here's the stuff.
And they do.
Yeah.
And look, Paul, you know, we met this morning and we had a meeting with everybody. And we went into Plan B right away because we know that we can't stop the learning. So we went into asynchronous, you know, learning where the kids are, okay, they'll pick up packets online. We got to do something because we can't stop.
Send them to Esmuja.
We're not going to raise our hands and say, what do we do? What do we do? No.
Send them to Esmuja. Give us a contract. We'll do it.
Yeah, see, there you go. This is how we need to start thinking as a government agency and as a community where, you know, let's stop thinking that everything is going to come to us. And then, like what you were saying with the DSNAP, you know, this ties into that too. When we have these major typhoons, okay, so if they take federal funding away, like we were talking about conversations earlier, Paul, we need to sustain ourselves.
Right.
Food, shelter, and water. Why can't we grow our own food so in case things happen and we can't ship anything, hey, don't worry, we have it.
That sounds like my echo.
Yes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you. Sustainability. We have such large fields in our departments of education schools. Those fields could be completely harvested. You could do squash. You could do.
You can grow.
Yeah.
anything
You got a
on this
big
island.
enough field. You got big enough field. Department of Agriculture goes from school to school. The kids go out there and they clean up and they plant. There's no reason the word agricultural. I was lucky enough to introduce that apprentice program to agriculture at the Department of Labor. And in that aspect, why isn't that in the realm of a success and sustainability? Austin up there, the university, Shelton, these guys are unbelievably. It's just to be able to get everybody on board for sustainability. You put composting bin. Give everybody a composting bin who's getting a service with trash, and they start putting all their compost, all their trash that it can be used, paper products, all these things can be used, and recycle it, and then they'll start growing stuff because now they can make their own soil. Yeah.
You start from in-house and spread out.
Oh yeah, no.
And
These people want to eat.
You can make
we got 7 days.
Understand these things.
We got 7 days of food, Cello.
Sustaining itself.
Yeah. No, just that time down there in Cabras when that one tank kind of blew up or something, and we couldn't get any ships to come in. Whoa. No. Sustainability. It's first and foremost, and it's so easy. I think probably Rhoda in their agricultural, the Bangladesh are there, which is pretty interesting. But that Bangladesh guys they're doing the farming, and the local guys.
Correct.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are doing the sweet potatoes are coming from there, and they're the ones farming that.
Yeah, but you know what? It's same wonderful sweet potatoes. Everybody's
Why are we shipping it in?
Well, yeah, no, absolutely. Again,
I mean, I'm not supporting the other islands.
It's just getting out. I teach 4-year-olds at Estumbo Elementary, and they get 2 5-gallon containers. One of them has the cherry tomatoes. The other one has the eggplants. And what they do, this is so cool. What they do, they're getting right next to the plant, and they sing "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star." And they know carbon dioxide's coming out of their mouth, and that's the food for the plant, and they're breathing the oxygen. It's nuts, But that's what has to happen at that early age where you're on your way into, that sustainability. So we request our parents to make mini gardens and take pictures of it at their house. By the students, agricultural class. Where's the agricultural class in the high schools? Where's the agricultural class? You know what I mean? They're not even taught. Why not?
Exactly,
there should be. There's a whole group of kids out there that would love to do agriculture. But where's the class? No class. It's not a class act. It's a class act, but they just don't have agriculture. Right? And they could.
Make it my life's mission to make sure that we sustain ourselves. I will, that's what I want to be known for here on this island. That Jason Cruz actually made a difference.
You have.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
You clearly have already.
No,
sure,
don't even doubt that for a minute. Yeah, that's.
Hey, Jason, we got to run. I got one more look at our traffic, our roadways. Yeah.
Have a good weekend.
Right.
And, go Fins.
Yeah, love you. Guaja.
Nothing about go Fins. Goodbye, sir.
Fins up.
Take care, Jason.
All right.
They're never gonna win a game.
So mean.
He could take it.
Okay.
He's
used to it?
Yeah, when it comes to the NFL, this is just friendly fire.
Not like our politics up wrong.
Let's look at how the road is looking like, right?
Yep. All right, it's time to move you forward along with Guam Auto Spot. Standing by, Mr. Pauly.
It's what we expected to look like on Marine Corps Drive and down in Tumon trying to get back up. Route 8 as well. The early parts of the beginning roads of Route 8. Once you get past Cañada, it's actually pretty decent, even over at the Tri. So you are going to experience some delays, but it does get better for you all along Route 16. And then obviously when you start going down past the overpass, you're going to meet all of that congestion where everybody has been hanging out Marine Corps Drive since around 4 p.m. And so it does clear out for you right around the Route 28, Route 1 intersection. That's the Sangsong Road, right? I don't see too many issues on Route 4. I don't see too many issues on Route 10 either. Once again, helping you move forward on this Friday afternoon. Viva Betness! That's Guam Auto Spot. Call them up, 478-AUTO. View their inventory on their website, guamautospot.com.
Half a day. I'm Clint Rigel, and I'm running for senator. If you're looking for proven, effective leadership, vote for me, and let's grow Guam together. I'm Clint Rigel, and I approve this message.
Half Hafaday, Guam! The Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association invites you to the Fair Trade Show, Guam's premier hospitality and food service event. Join us August 19th and 20th at the Hyatt Regency Guam from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Experience hands-on training sessions and exciting culinary competitions featuring professionals, apprentices, and pastry talent. Discover new products, connect with suppliers, and celebrate Guam's hospitality industry. Don't miss Fair 2026. Visit GHRA.org for details.
Hats Tinting and Detailing offers premier services from complete interior cleaning and VIP detailing. And to keep you cool, Hats also offers factory, ceramic, blacked out, and base-approved auto tinting. For more information, call 647-SLAM.
Half a day. I'm Clint Rigel, and I'm running for senator. If you're looking for proven, effective leadership, vote for me, and let's grow Guam together. I'm Clint Rigel, and I approve this message.
Our critically injured veterans and first responders are left behind every day because of inadequate wheelchairs. That's why Wheelchairs for Warriors is on a mission to serve America's heroes across the nation and provide them with custom-fit wheelchairs tailored to fit their needs to ensure they're rejoining their lives at the highest level of independent mobility and function possible. From lightweight daily use chairs or adaptive sports chairs to all-terrain wheelchairs to get these warriors outdoors. Wheelchairs for Warriors serves those who've served us. To join their mission, visit their website at wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
The countdown has begun. Cost You Less is preparing something special for Hagana, and you won't want to miss it. Family fun, live entertainment, community celebrations, and more are on the way. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for details.
Half a day, I'm Callan Perez and I'm running for senator. Service to our island has shaped my life, from community advocacy and substance abuse recovery to supporting sustainable agriculture. Inspired by my parents, Dr. Perez and Dr. Erickson, I remain committed to serving the people of Guam. I'm Callan Perez and I approve this message.
Feeling good, getting things done. Wave 105 FM.
We're 10 minutes away from the 6 o'clock hour. Thank you for tuning in. This is the Bright Side with Mr. Pauly Suba.
All right, welcome back. Viva Business!
Viva!
The OG Rand Kaufman has been hanging out with us, right? And so we're about to transition. Don't go anywhere because Edge of Heaven is coming up very soon. But before that happens, Rand has a joke for us.
Oh, yeah. I got the most powerful Chamorro joke ever.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, I'm
and
ready.
Everybody that hears it
I'm ready.
realizes that it's the most powerful Chamorro joke ever. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, here we go. The Pope and the President and Jose Guaido all die on the same day. So they're in heaven. So the Pope goes, I'm going in. I'm the shepherd to the flock. The President goes, I'm going in. I control the most powerful country in the world. Jose Guaido goes, I don't know. I don't know. So St. Peter comes out through the gate and goes, you come here. And the Pope takes a step. And St. Peter goes, no, not you. You come here. And the President takes a step. And St. Peter goes, no, not you. You come here. And Jose Guaido very humbly follows St. Peter through the gate. St. Peter turns around and says, Hafapar!
I don't think I could have ever told that joke. It wouldn't land if I told it. You're such an amazing storyteller.
Well, yeah, I think you do a good job, Pauly. You're getting a lot of experience. You're good telling all the political Pauly, stories. But yeah, no, that's when I first heard my best audience for this joke was at the port. I stuck my head in. There was about 10 or 12 of the customs guys down there who were getting busted for the cigarette scam. Remember that?
Okay.
So I stuck my head in and I go, you guys want to hear a joke? And they looked at the lieutenant. The lieutenant goes, go ahead. So I told this joke. These guys couldn't quit laughing. It was such a stress reliever for them that no matter what, Hafapar is going to be real for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, you know why you know that this is a true thing? Because Rosa Gumatautau Rios is on the money as the Treasurer of the United States during Obama's term when he printed billions and billions of dollars to bail us out. But that and this is the key that opens up the best Chamorro joke ever. You got to show them that. So you know that if Gumatauto's on the money, guarantee Havabar is real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not just any Chamorro name, but Gumatauto.
House of the people.
Right?
Yeah, it's not Spanish. There's no Spanish in their homes. Yeah, no, that's the real thing. Absolutely.
No, because it could have been a Zuzu, but it happened to be Gumatauto.
Gumatauto, yeah. Well, I'm sure they'll get in there someday too with a McDonald's, right?
No, yeah, but a Zuzu is what coconut crab, right?
Oh,
So,
yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we have them for pets at our house.
Do you really?
Yeah, because we feed the dogs.
You don't want to eat them?
No. I already had my quota.
Oh, okay.
All right. Yeah.
And
still
especially
they're
if they
pets.
get a certain size, you don't want to because there's the belief that they're
Tatamonas. Yeah. Well, sometimes in Rhoda, when you're driving down the road, there'll be one right in the middle of the road with her, claws up. So you get out of the car and you go over and you kind of nudge them along to get them off the road.
What do you mean you met your quota?
Being like a vegan.
Oh, okay.
You don't eat fish, right? You don't eat anything that's an animal.
Okay.
So I've fished. Okay. So when people say, "Well, are you going to go fishing?" I go, "No, I got my quota."
Okay, got it. Understood.
Right? Yeah, because of just that, right? But if it came down to where it's
no
just
wonder why you got a Zuzu all over your house because they know they ain't gonna get eaten.
Yeah, they eat dog food. Yeah, you just make the sound in the can. Out they come. They come.
This
running
is
out.
the safest place ever.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Even one it was funny because we had a Chamorro group down there using the beach house, and they left. And when they called us up and said, yeah, we found the Zuzu. And I go, no, take it back. That's our pet. Right? So sure enough, they turned around and released it back into the group. Yeah, it's living on Guam. It's such in the northern Marianas in Pagan, it's the fanihi. The fanihi is the pet. That's what you have inside your house, which is pretty cool. As a mammal, the only mammal that was here indigenously, right, was the fruit bat. So that's but when you go from Pagan to Saipan, you got to tell the boys, turn it loose. We can't land with Fanihi on the boat because they'll take the boat, right? Because it's endangered. They got it, where you can't. But they got it as a pet, right? But no, can't take the risk, right? With something like that. So they would let it fly into the jungles. But that's a great joke. But that was my favorite.
How long have you held on to that joke?
I've kind of built on it.
Okay.
Yeah, putting the Jose Grito
right.
into it. Jose
10
Grito,
years old, 20 years old?
I think I'm trying to think where I first heard it. It was passed on to me.
All the greatest jokes get passed on.
Yes, where they come on. It's almost like how come we don't know how they built the pyramids, right? Or how come we don't know how they built out there in Ponape? Didn't they tell anybody how they do it? And the next one, tell the next one. So continued jokes. The reason why the Micronesians and the aspect of the outer islands use their canoes and their sacmans in being able to follow the stars and the waves is through song. They learn a song.
Yeah.
And that's how it's passed, continuing down into the generations.
Have you been to Nanmadol?
No, I haven't. Just in pictures. I've been to Ponape, but I didn't get down. Did you go and look?
Yes, Nanmadol is so spiritual.
Yeah. Now, does anybody ever spend the night there?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I know that there are caretakers.
Sure.
Right?
Okay. Yeah, we spent the night up in Mochung in the northern in Rhoda, right? It's 47 latte sites. That's a trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet.
Well, what you request for is to represent the life in the simplicity that it is. So try to be able to communicate in a real simple manner. And so I got to the first time I did that was before I was going to Washington, D.C. as one of the teachers of the year backup, right? You can't beat the women, by the way. But anyway, I was the backup. So they sent me to Washington, D.C. so that all the future teachers or the best teachers were there, right? So that was right after Columbus Day. So what I did, I went to Rhoda and for the fiesta, which was the same time, and in asking the ancestors just in the presence, can I represent the simplicity of their life and try to communicate with that simplicity? And the feeling I got was, yeah. So I went to Washington, and it was Secretary Riley under Clinton.
Okay.
And we got up on the stage with all the teachers, and we challenged them, teachers coming to dinner program. Teachers coming to dinner that we have a child, and we take them to a restaurant, and we pay for the food, and we bring them a book or bring them something, some kind of icon for them. And the parents, of course, are there. But what you're trying to do is raise the whole profession of teachers into the doctors making a home visit. A doctor making a home visit, wow, or a doctor calls you up, that's pretty cool, right? So in the aspect of you making and doing that, but the teachers, the elementary teacher says, yeah, we can do that, we can do that. The high school teacher says, no, man, I got 120 kids, I got 6 periods. I go, no, just your homeroom. You just do your homeroom, and that'll be fine. And in that aspect, you have that whole profession rise to the occasion of what it is. And so now we know why we're 54th on the list of the lowest paid teachers in the United States is because of just that. It's a calling. And it's such a calling that all throughout the years, even in the beginning, if the woman got pregnant, she cannot work. If she marries, she cannot work. And the reason why the pay is hardly anything is because it's a calling. You have a calling as a teacher. But there's a lot of teachers now that don't hear that calling as much as they would like to have the 53 spot instead of the 54 spot.
With school start, the first official
my
week,
first day
right?
was today with my pre-K gate kids.
How did it go? What do you
know
do
what?
on the first
what
day?
I see a very accomplished department who is very capable and provided for 20-some thousand people to be fed twice, to be enclosed with a supervised instructor who has a college degree and is certified and is able to give them a chance and an opportunity to understand something. And that what they're asked to understand is what's in the curriculum. And you think about, well, why? Why do I have to learn this? What's this got to do with me? Like it was like Sherlock Holmes, even the fiction theater. Watson would go crazy. He'd go, why don't you know the names of the planets? What's the matter with you? Why don't you know the names of the planets? Sherlock Holmes says, why should I know the names of the planets? What's that got to do with detective work? Right? Really interesting, as how you see these kind of things. But we have an opportunity within our school systems to take care of these people. And it's because of the caring of the department and how much they care for every single child. Nurses are there, social workers are there, truant officers are encouraging situations, whatever they may be, as to why a student's not there. It's a beautiful system and very accomplished, and probably probably the best. Only WASC accredited for everything, including central office, Pauly. There's no other jurisdiction that has that. Only here in Guam that we went to that degree and absorbed WASC accreditation. People coming out and seeing what's going on. Yeah,
it's good stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And so my little kids, 4 years old, some of them never been in a daycare. My room is, loaded. I got everything a teacher in that age group would want to have, so they just get blown away and they just wave, bye mom, bye dad. No criers. And they were right there. I got 7 computer stations, and it's all controlled by DOE because we're coming in through their internet. So everything pretty much is accessible and child friendly.
Right.
Yeah, it's great, and that has an opportunity for us as educators to be able to have them rise up into the cyberspace, because that's real for these kids and in that cyberspace. But we ask them, how much time do you think you should spend on the screen? How much time do you think you should do that? And then how many shows should you watch? And let them make that call, right? Because I tell you, man, it's a lot. The kids are getting a lot of screen time. So you have to build on it. It has to be something that's part of what. Have you ever heard of the Khan Academy?
No.
Khan Academy, this guy started teaching his nieces, like in a closet, math.
Okay.
And now he's got it developmental all the way through trigonometry, and it's just as plain as day. And you can get into it. We do that. We're not supposed to teach kindergarten things like math or any letters or colors. That's kindergarten's job. But we can opportune to the parents that this is an academy that they can process through because they have that interest in it, right? Some of these kids, they're 4 years old and they can read 9th grade level.
That's great.
Yeah. So autism is part of the ascension because you have these savants. And these savants can read numbers, can tell stories, can develop really high-end vocabularies and understand everything they're saying. but be socially incompetent, right? It's like they've risen above their vehicle.
Right.
It's very powerful dealing
Yeah.
with autistic kids.
We got the show coming up.
It's here already.
Yes,
and you're a
it is
guest.
here,
You're
yes.
a guest, right? I'm always a guest.
KGUM FM in Dededo, Guam. Yeah, I was just waiting. Ryan, are we gonna do the whole another 30 minutes?
No.
it's just, well,
I was like, Ryan's not even in here. Did
Well,
he quit?
I think I calculated all the
Oh,
minutes
he
I
didn't.
saved.
He wouldn't hear the joke, right? You gotta tell him the joke.
No, I heard the joke.
Oh, you heard the joke? So what do you think? Is it the best Chamorro joke you ever heard?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
Yes,
good.
it
Just
is.
checking. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, don't go anywhere because we've got Edge of Heaven coming up real soon. Everybody get home safe. Be kind to each other, especially on those roads. Guaidza.
Guaidza.
Adios. Have a great weekend.